Hey everybody, what the fuck is going on? How the fuck are you out there? I was gonna say Six Bro Podcast coming at you again, but I say that every time, and you know what? You're already here, you already listened, you know who we are. Guys, this episode is brought to you by Municipal Land Survey. Get them at 631-345-2658. We're also brought to you by AS Engineering Services. You can get them on the interconnected webs at www.asengineeringservices.com, and on the telephone, if you still use one of those, at 631-560-0259. And then last but not least, by Make the Thrive, an American t-shirt company. You can get them on Instagram at makethethrive.us, and then also on the web at www.makethethrive.us. Guys, this episode we have a pretty crazy one for you. We have Chris Wall back again, and in this episode we go through the presidential election, which is going on at the time, and a whole bunch of other shit. So give it a listen. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, we're live. Let's get into it.
Six Bro Podcast, D-Rock,
Yarbs, Erica,
our guest, back for...
Oh, wow, yeah.
Wow!
You fucked that one up.
Stealing our guest's shine. I didn't fuck it up, I do him afterwards.
Well, he's actually probably one of the most famous people of the week.
Yeah, that's true. Super
famous. That's, hi, I'm Chris Wall.
Yeah, Chris Wall's back for round two. Welcome back.
What's up, guys?
Let's give Steve some quick love. Steve,
hey, Steve.
Steve, as of yesterday, was the most famous guy on the internet. He won the internet yesterday. He was the #1 trending post on Reddit in everything.
Okay.
Yeah, #1 on all.
Yeah, on all.
And pics, and funny. And then I started on Giants, too, as a long story.
How many views did your photo get?
1.9 million.
Oh my god, what was the photo? What?
Me?
He was rolling hard.
They
with
saw
his
me
voice.
rolling, they were hating.
Give a quick background.
Yeah, let me
Can
hear
we pull
this,
up the
please.
picture for
Yeah,
us?
please.
God,
pull it up for us.
Yeah. So what happened was somebody on Reddit put up, so my friend wanted a standing desk. And he like works at like a, what the fuck? Oh, okay. So he works at like a data center. So he pulled one of the tiles out, and the data centers have the false floor so you can run all the wires, and he stood in the hole, so he had a standing desk.
Right.
Okay, haha, whatever.
And he put a picture up
And he
of
put
it,
a picture up of it, and he got a lot of, karma, which are upvotes or whatever, and it was pretty funny. So, yeah, okay, so this is like the third. So this just started going on and on and on. Anyway, so then some other guy did it. So then I, being in a wheelchair, wrote, I too would like a stand-up desk. And it went kind of viral. So, hold on, I'll find it. It's right around.
The comment section read like my jokes to Steve on a nightly basis here.
It was like I was...
All crippled puns. And I'm like,
Real good.
this is just like when Steve hangs out with us.
It was like I replied to Dave Delarocca 700 times. That was my day. It was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm always shitting on it for being
I've
crippled.
been dying to go viral, and a fucking picture of you gets a million views.
I accidentally went viral. It was fucking amazing.
Is that how it has to happen? Accident?
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't think so.
No. If you're Kim Kardashian, obviously not.
So
but I think
this-
for Steve,
So this is the response to me being in my wheelchair. This guy like put his chair in the cube, and they're like, wheelchair guy 2, not wheelchair guy 2, wheelchair guy 1, and then I wrote back, that's me. I was like, son of a, and I put in this picture. With this background of me under my desk.
You know what's hilarious,
And,
Steve, is
then
you've
we got
shown
back to 2-2.
you've shown everything but the original picture that went fucking viral.
Yeah.
You crippled son of a bitch.
Chris hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
He's rolling to it.
Yeah,
sorry.
but he skipped around. You showed him everything else,
skipped?
but
He
what
skipped?
start? Yeah, he can't skip. You rolled around everything else.
This is what went viral.
Yeah, this is the original picture.
Standing desk. I got gilded 3 times. And fucking.
Hey, Steve, we like girls. We don't know what that means.
Yeah. I mean, somebody paid Reddit, and I have a stupid thing next to my.
Alright.
There we go. So I've been dying to fucking go viral. I mean, it's
It's weird. Listen, I had like 9 Facebook password reset requests, people trying to hack into my Facebook.
All right.
I had 3 or 4 marriage proposals.
Overnight celebrity.
I had it's about 50-50 on the goatee. Some people are down with it, some people don't.
You know what? I think
But you
it's
still
you.
can't stand up.
No, true. At the end of the day.
Would you shave the goatee to be able to walk again?
I don't know.
That difficult, yes.
I had a mustache for a while, and I will say, like, one of the benefits were when I went to get Chinese food and I would eat, like, General Tso's chicken or sesame chicken, it would get, like, stuck in the mustache, and, like, 6 hours later I could lick and get the taste back out of my mustache.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I have such a difficult time growing any facial hair, but when it comes in, it's like knives everywhere. Down my cheeks, my upper lip, it literally stabs me and gives me a rash until it kind of outgrows. So I don't really grow beards or
shit looks strong
mustaches
right now.
or anything. It's
It's stubble.
Yeah,
you look alright.
You have legitimate stubble where it looks like you would grow a legitimate beard.
Yeah.
and then it just stops right there. So that's why I just kind of keep it there. So even if I go like 2 months in,
and
everyone's like,
Eric
"Oh, you
got-
look like you're gonna grow a great beard." I'm like, "I've been going
pussies,
for 2
man.
months."
It's a long commitment. It's a long
I've never
commitment.
It's 100%. Same with my hair too.
My facial hair grows very, very slow. So people are like, oh, it itches for a week or 2. No, I itch for 3.5 months.
Yeah, yes,
3.5
absolutely,
months, I wake
absolutely.
up in the middle and like,
Yes,
oh!
absolutely.
I
Brutal.
itched for 3.5 hours.
This is like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Three weeks.
This is about a month.
I grew my beard for 4 months last winter into spring, and it wasn't even a third as long as
I did.
It was like Dave's sideburn.
That's what I did.
That
and
was
I
not
get
4
so
months, was it?
Yeah, it was months.
For those of
months.
you, for those of you
Remember
listening,
Manny
who aren't gonna
Yeah, I got
bother
pissed when
going
you
on-
shaved it.
It got hot out.
For those of you listening that aren't going to bother to go on Reddit to understand, like the beard we're talking about, I have a goatee, and the number 2 comment on this thread is, "Why did you censor your chin?" So, just to put that in context, I was told I have more soul patch than James Brown. was one
holy
of the
shit.
comments.
You
Yeah.
can see the picture on our Instagram because I posted it last night as a tribute to you.
Oh,
Oh God!
wow.
You
Not-
got a standing
big dick on
ovation.
that chin.
Yeah. Not included in box. One leg, one leg. Oh, you should cherish this post. That's pretty
Man, well, I mean, not for nothing. That's pretty unbelievable. A lot of views on that picture.
It was hilarious.
Oh man,
Yeah, Steve's pretty awesome, and he won the internet, so we gotta
Yeah.
give him a little bit of love.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll clap for winning the internet.
Thank you.
100%.
No, since we're talking about this, I just think you need to commit to the beard. That's all.
I'll give it a try. See, what happens is I I get patchy on the cheeks, and I mean the chin is okay, but the only badass part, I mean, the mustache grows serious. It's the only thing that actually goes over. I mean, it goes over the lips, so I guess that
I can't really
grows
connect right here.
You have to
I
have
haven't
a
been a connector either in the goatee.
strong mustache game if that's all you're gonna do. Like
Yeah,
it's
like
gotta
selling.
be. Yeah, it can't be. You can't do this.
I was watching the Islanders game last night, and
exactly.
there was who's rocking a badass fucking. I'm a Ranger fan, but someone was rocking a really mean fucking handlebar mustache, and it looked very old school. I was kind of jealous. I'll never be able to do it because, again, like Eric said, I can't do the sides. No connection on the sides.
Shame.
You'd have to
Babyface.
like. You're coming in good on the mustache, though. It
That's
looks
what I'm
pretty
saying.
strong.
The mustache is strong.
Maybe go with the
I
Tom-
could
go
definitely,
with the Tom
I
Selleck.
could pull off the pedophile look really good when
Me
I
too.
grow.
I could rock the pedophile stash.
That's all I got.
No, see, you're not thin enough for a pedophile.
True.
You got like
true,
a 70s
true.
porn
What was
stash
the
going on.
who was the guy that went viral recently with the last debate or 2 debates ago with the red sweater?
Oh,
Ken-
yeah.
Ken Bone.
Ken Bone. Oh man, what a savage.
He's definitely grabbed some pussies in his day.
If he
Or no,
wasn't,
hasn't.
after he went
Actually,
viral,
he's never.
after he went viral, he started grabbing pussy.
Yeah.
like a motherfucker.
I mean,
Cripple's getting
well,
marriage
you guys heard
contract
his.
sight unseen. Like he's definitely.
Well, you heard his downfall, right, on Reddit. What did he call pregnant women? It was such a fucking unbelievable thing.
What did he, I don't know. I didn't know anything about this.
He definitely made. Well, he made. What was the problem? He put his
They're
email out.
beautiful submarines or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Just to we're also
Eyeball
it's
in
the
election.
election right now coming in, so right now Trump actually jumped ahead again in Florida by about 100,000 votes. They were swinging about 1,000 votes back and forth for a while. So
what the Trump is grabbing those votes like pussies down in Florida.
What the fuck is actually happening?
He's up by almost 2 points right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been an interesting. It's been an interesting 10 months, 11 months.
Listen, one thing.
I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, me too. But it's not.
Sure.
And I think the one thing that we're all really missing here is win or lose, Trump or Clinton, whoever gets into office. I think we're all really missing out on the fucking phenomenal punk bands that are going to come out of this election cycle. Like, that's a very important thing. I think that we're all just skipping right over.
No effects.
Like, just think
fucking
about
band that'll be around forever. They'll probably write about this election.
Even
Exactly.
Rage Against the Machine.
That's what I'm
Oh man,
saying.
I miss them.
50% of the country's going to be pissed. So there's going to be some fucking awesome punk shit coming out of this.
I'm going to say, besides even that, the stand-up comedy that's going to come out of this is going to be fucking phenomenal.
It's
Facebook
already
is already
been
phenomenal.
good. Saturday Night Live has even been climbing up there again because they've just been doing an awesome job making fun of this entire shit show. But I don't know. It's been an interesting one. How'd you guys participate in it? Did you? Do we not? I have no. I'm going to admit right now, and I've always taken myself as a political person, I guess. I mean, no expert by any means, but I didn't vote in this election.
You're in good company then.
I sat it out.
Here's the snap.
The one guy that should have sat it out voted.
Yeah.
That was me.
you sit everything out.
Yeah. No, I voted.
Yeah, you missed the joke, stupid.
I know. I set you up, please.
All right, so this is my answer. If whether or not we voted.
Hold on one sec. The fucking legend just walked in the room. All right, everybody, take a fucking take a fucking moment.
Yeah.
Take
I didn't know you were pumped tonight, bro. I'm so pumped now. All right.
I hope you'll join me for a drink.
Oh, why don't you even sit down?
Yeah.
Jeez, I'll go get one.
Here we go.
Hey, yo, bro. Did you vote? Fuck that shit.
So that answers the question about whether or not we voted.
Oh man. Okay.
Let's talk about that actually. Because I ran into some serious indignance from people about not voting. I didn't realize how ass hurt people get over people who don't vote. So I'm at work. And an unnamed woman in my district. As I walked into the place, I don't know how it exactly came up, but voting came up, and somebody turned to one of my coworkers like, "Oh, who you voting for?" And then they came to me, and she's like, "Well, who you voting for?" I was like, "I'm not." She was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I don't care, actually." I'm like, "I'm not interested," and I didn't get too involved in explaining why, which we can get into later. And her husband works in the district as well, and was like, "Well, then I guess you're moving to Russia," and was like, "You're disgracing yourself." And I was like, disgracing myself? I was like, why? Because I don't feel like voting? I'm like, even if I wanted to vote, I wouldn't vote in this election either, because like I wouldn't vote for either one of these people. So if there were other candidates, maybe I'd be a little bit more inclined to vote. Probably not, but definitely not in this one. But people get like mad about it.
In my personal opinion, this election, there's not too much different with these candidates that we haven't seen before. Maybe it's just a little more in our face, what we know behind the scenes, than we have in the past. But I've just been absolutely shocked. And on both sides, I'm not singling any side out. I've just been absolutely shocked.
You're like looking like you're upset about this. You're holding your head.
This is.
You have your head down.
I am. Well, even. I mean, it's again. We talked briefly. It's just it's been a rough week. So, but this whole fucking period has been absolutely brutal to watch. I mean, people are absolutely out of their fucking mind. Absolutely.
Well, it's become more of a spectacle and less like a presidential or elected official. It's just ridiculous.
It's not
it's
traditional.
It's not traditional. It's ridiculous.
But
it's fucking ridiculous.
Well,
what's funny
everybody's
about
making money from it. That's why it's turned ridiculous. If you look at the stock of the parent companies that own the news organizations, all of their stocks have gone up since Hillary and Donald won the primaries, especially during the debates. Like, the ratings that the debates had were second only to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So if you think about
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you think about the magnitude of money that everybody involved is making, the reason why it's sensationalized is not because it's a sensational election. It's because there's money involved and everybody has an agenda that they're trying to push, and that agenda is not the conservative or the liberal agenda. It's the let's make some money agenda, which is essentially what drives both sides anyway.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. And I don't know. I'm really confused, and like you said, I mean, this election period has definitely affected me. I've always considered myself. I don't even want to say political activist. I mean, I've done some little stints with protesting and thinking that I got this big voice or something like that, and it's been fun and interesting at times that I've tried it, but I don't know. It's really disappointing to see where a lot of people have gone, and again, I'm not just talking about one particular side.
It's people in general.
It's just people in general. What I said
Log
before,
on to Facebook.
People are fucking insane. People are fucking insane.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's so funny though.
And
that shit.
And it's always the people.
It's funny and it's sad. It really is sad. Because I don't remember growing up like this. Again, I'm 31 years old. None of us are really too far apart in age. Grew up in the 90s.
Back when Bill Clinton was slinging dick like a pro in the White
when
House.
you could still get away with it before social media.
Yeah.
When his goatee was in style.
I don't know if you remember this, but he did not get away with it.
That's because he took it to the next level.
Yeah, he took it to the White House level.
Yeah.
He was conquering all that Arkansas pussy. He's the original pussy grabber. He was grabbing him by the pussy in Arkansas.
John Kennedy was the original pussy grabber.
He's the OG
Number
pussy
one
grabber.
rule of sex in the Oval Office: don't come on anything.
Which defeats the purpose, really.
Yeah.
Imagine you walked around that place with a black light. It would be like literally.
my God.
It would, we need the DNA of every president ever.
Yeah,
Just go to the Oval Office and look
Seriously.
underneath the desk.
Jesus.
Disco.
Look under the desk. Look on the desk. That place was probably, like you said, a disco, and the fucking lights went out.
They got everybody back to J. Edgar Hoover.
That's Studio 1600 right there.
Somebody grabbed him by the pussy.
Oh my gosh!
Imagine we could clone people off of that.
I was just gonna say you could make your own Jurassic Park out of the
Awesome.
Oval Office. You could
Presidents.
just go and just start scraping
Grow your own
DNA and
Kennedy?
just yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! And over here to the right is JFK.
We could get Teddy Roosevelt. We'll give him stem cells so that he can walk.
Watch for stray bullets.
No, that was FDR.
FDR. My apologies.
I know my cripples. My people you're talking about.
Yeah, you guys all smell your own.
Oh, but where do people go next after this?
They go back to not giving a shit.
Yeah, and you know what? Nobody will care again for the next 3.5 years, and then everyone will be an expert. That bottom third of the intelligence pool will be out there advocating on Facebook as if they're the shepherds that are going to bring us all along, and everyone's just rolling their eyes back so far in their head that they're looking at their brains like, "Oh, this guy's fucking posting again."
Oh,
Hopefully it goes back to a reset.
I saw somebody post today, and I won't name them, but somebody, the three of us, I'm going to point at the two so that it's ambiguous, know well, and made a political rant on Facebook that I couldn't even believe, because when we see this person, you can't even believe that they have the capacity to think about the election. Like, I would have been shocked to find out that this person even could name both the candidates running.
Wow.
Again, I just to see what's come out of people's mouth and what's been posted in public forums. It's just been it's been brutal to watch. I've seen friends who I guess I've had respect for. I mean, No, I guess I had respect for it. But I mean, again, I'm seeing absolute crazy things.
I gotta be honest with you. If you lose respect over somebody over the political views, I think you're just as bad as the person making the slanted views. Because listen, people are entitled to their opinions. I don't begrudge anybody their opinion.
100%.
But what does chap my ass is
there's a threshold, but there's a threshold. I'm sorry to cut you off, but there's a
now
threshold.
I just lost respect for you.
You should.
I lose respect for people based upon who they're voting for. And it's not because of who they're voting for; it's because of the reasons why they're voting.
Well,
people vote for different reasons.
But I'm going to be honest. I mean, I've never really had a reason to lose respect for anybody over their vote until recently. And I mean, even if we've just kind of been on different sides of the fence with whatever the opinion is. I mean, I still respected it because, again, everything seemed a little more formal, or I don't know.
It was like adults were running. This was like a high school student government slam.
Yeah. I mean,
slam books and
yeah.
It's like Mean Girls. It's like Mean Girls.
Congress.
The last 2 weeks, the commercials that have been on TV have been insane. I've never seen local political campaigns piggybacking off of the presidential campaigns, like where if a local candidate was aligned with Trump, they were going to use that against their opposition, and vice versa.
Backfired, but I know what you're talking.
I'd never seen that before. I've never seen
it
that.
Started with Bush.
I never saw that.
Started
before.
with George W. Bush.
It's like click social standing, fucking.
Yeah. Exactly. And hilariously enough, I know exactly the ad you're talking about.
Lee Zeldin and Anna Thornhorst. Yeah,
exactly. And that
who was
she
knocking
did not
who?
know her audience.
Both of them. They went back and forth.
They went back and forth. Anna Thornhorst ran ads saying like Lee Zeldin is backing Donald Trump, and like
but he's a Republican. He has to. That's just what you have to do. It's like
That
if your job is to be a drummer, you're going to be doing drumming.
That was her only commercial.
Exactly.
Though. It was he likes Donald Trump.
Well,
what do you think about that shit? Like that was her ad.
that was essentially the commercial.
Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, that was it.
That he supports terrorists. That and he supports terrorists. The guy who's in the military.
Oh my god!
82nd Airborne supports terrorists.
Yeah,
Okay.
I give probably not, but
maybe she hadn't driven through her district and looked at all the fucking signs up, but maybe she could have gone another way with that ad. I'm just saying.
Lee Zeldin, he's our local rep here for everybody in this room. He's our local federal level senator.
Yeah.
And for anyone that doesn't know him, he's like a military veteran. He has a law degree. I think he worked as an attorney for a little while. And he was a state congressman before he got bumped up and won the federal election.
The only thing I know about him is that he supports Trump because of that goddamn fucking commercial. That's the only thing I know.
Terrorists.
Yeah.
Because most military people, they're all about terrorism.
I got a
Job security.
You want to hear why he's got street cred? Because he makes several $100,000 a year now as a senator, and he lives in Mastic. Street cred.
Wow,
hasn't moved.
What it is. That's what it is.
Hasn't
He
moved.
Stayed in the hood. Okay.
Even though it's not the same as Shirley, it's pretty close.
Not to go.
Shirley's great.
Shirley's fantastic.
I grew up in Shirley. I love Shirley.
Well,
it's
now it's a little worse than I thought it was, but it's
it's not the same town as Mass.
Not to go totally off topic, but
Well, we have been the whole time.
just somebody who's become. I mean, this is total sarcasm, but who's become a big shot in this election. Giuliani. I mean, he has been fucking absolutely on fire with some of the things he says. And the weird thing about that is, I used to be a fan of Giuliani in the early 2000s. I guess you grew up in New York, you lived through 9/11 to some extent, whether you were there or in a classroom or wherever the hell you were. And I guess I enjoyed him around. He seemed like he was doing some good things, but
He shipped all the homeless people out of New York for a while.
Right. Bowery. You couldn't go down Bowery before he was around.
That is true, though.
When Giuliani came in, you could stay in the city after 10 p.m.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he definitely did good.
Without being
He definitely
on
did
your
some.
shit.
I mean, listen, pre-Giuliani years, you watch, what's that fucking, Jason Takes Manhattan, Friday the
Dinkins.
13th. The whole premise of even bringing that, Jason Voorhees to Manhattan was just because it was such a fucking disgusting shithole. I think there's a scene in the end when he walks down Times Square and it's just peep shows. And,
That's all Times Square was for the long time.
That's all.
Yeah, man. How old are you? Am I that old? I hate all of you right now.
Disney didn't own Times Square during the Dinkins days.
Yeah, exactly,
Oh, yeah,
exactly,
no.
exactly. So,
That shit was bad. It
was real bad.
It was real bad.
Dinkins, Koch. I remember going there with my parents as a kid and being told, like, all right, we're about to go through the tunnel, lock the doors.
Yeah.
And
The squeegee guys.
Yep,
and
the
shit.
squeegee
Yep.
guys. I remember seeing fist fights out the
Got
car
pissed on
window.
front of my father's car.
Yep.
And he was like, "Well, I'm going to kill him in the middle of the street." No one did anything.
And now you can
And it
wa-
was just like, okay.
now you can walk around even a lot of parts of like Harlem and not have any troubles. There's maybe one or two bad areas of Brooklyn left, and
Not even.
that's it.
Yeah.
There's you go to East New York, you don't want to hang
East New
out
York is still a shit show.
after 10 o'clock.
Like, 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, East New York's still bad.
The homeless are coming back, and
They are back.
they're awful. They're everywhere.
They stink.
I saw a lady pissing behind the truck the other day. Like just 6 o'clock in the morning, walking to work.
What's real sad about
So
the...
she had a skank at night.
No. This wasn't like
You sure you weren't on a
class
date?
lady
Oh, okay.
or a drug lady. This was like she spent the night and this truck parked right in front of her bathroom, so she had to go.
What's sad about the homeless situation in New York, and I spent years working in New York City in different parts where the homeless congregated. When you see these people, they're not people that are like, oh, that guy's lazy, he doesn't want to work, or that guy's drunk, he doesn't want to work, or like you go to Colorado now, you see young kids, or you go to LA, you see young homeless people. The people in New York City that are homeless are people with very, very bad mental
Mental problems.
handicaps. Terrible mental handicaps. They're just incoherent. They're not capable of working or holding down jobs or even living in a normal situation if a normal situation was given to them. Like, they don't have it in them. And obviously the drugs and the alcohol don't help. But it's like people say, like, oh, we don't have a gun problem, we have a mental health issue. It's like we have a homeless issue, but the homeless issue is driven by mental health problems
Well, our
and
mental
lack
health.
of care.
I mean, our focus on mental health has declined. I mean, so much over the years. I mean, psychiatric centers closed down. I mean, wings closed down. You have people, you know, who really aren't taken care of, and it's unfortunate. It seems to be, instead of putting people in hospitals to get help, it seems the best choice is to kind of put them in prisons and
Medicate them, put them in jail when they act
well,
up.
we're medicating everybody now. We're not even medicating people that really even need medication. I mean, that's, you know, so yeah, they're caught up in the mix too. But I mean, that's just become a problem in its own. But I think that's just a major problem. We have a lot of people who, like you said, are just mentally incapacitated to just, take these steps to help themselves. And I just think, you find two sides. Some people want less government assistance, and some people more. I mean, and nobody focuses on specific problems. But yeah, that's a major problem. You got a lot of sick people out there that no one's really helping, and.
Well, what did Giuliani do with them?
Well, this is what happened during the
They just
80s.
disappeared.
Now, I can tell you exactly what happened.
Yeah.
During the 80s and 90s, they cut funding. The state of New York cut funding for the mental institutions and the hospitals where many of these people were housed. Now, these aren't people that have, the majority of these people aren't people that have slight mental problems. They're people that their families could no longer take care of them, and they need to be institutionalized in some capacity. Now, do all of them need to be institutionalized? No, some of them could probably live in halfway houses or in group homes, but they need to be
They need some sort of a
monitored.
support
They need,
assistance,
they need some
yeah.
type of assistance or structure in their lives, and they need somebody making the majority of their serious decisions for them. So when the funding got cut, nobody knew what to do with these old patients, or new patients come in because there's nowhere to go.
So just let them out.
Well, some of them got shipped out of state, and then they came back, and some of them were just let out, and they would be out on the streets. And like, if you're not going to have a real conversation with an average homeless person. It's not because
No,
they're homeless or they're
that-
uneducated. It's because they're so crazy
They can't have one.
they can't have
You
one.
can't
Well,
have a
when
guy
did we-
coming up to you wearing a cape at 7-Eleven.
Yep.
That guy's crazy. But
I wore that to 7-Eleven this morning, you son of a bitch.
You fucked my whole
No,
morning.
you know where if you're smart and you're homeless, you know where you go? Down south, somewhere where it's warm all year. You don't live in New York
California.
fucking city.
But hold
you go
on.
live in San Diego. Those are the smart homeless people.
Right.
I know what started.
Well, like you said, I mean, I was out in LA for a little bit. I mean, as you remember, you know, LA's bad. Venice Beach. I mean, a lot of spots in California. You know, from the last show I was on, as you guys who are listening remember, I'm a musician and I play out all the fucking time. I did a little stint in LA, and it's bad out there too. There's a lot of, like Eric said, there's a lot of young homeless kids out there because there's a lot of kids that come out from the East Coast, and
They're smart.
but not all of them even have kind of an idea of what they're doing out there. Some of them just kind of go because they feel they need to go out there, and I mean, you walk down the streets of Venice Beach sometimes, and you know, it smells like human shit. It's interesting.
Whoa,
we got some things in the election.
We got some
I guess,
breaking news here. What's going on? Go ahead.
Yo, so Ohio just fucking flipped to Trump
Wow.
by 45,000.
Ohio?
Wow.
Virginia?
just went by
Florida.
200,000.
But- and Ohio's
is
done.
by 100,000.
Ohio's.
And Ohio's done. The polls
Oh.
are closed, so that's permanent.
No,
No, they're still counting. They got to count. Guys. They
Oh,
just
just
have
the
to count.
polls
They're
are
still
closed.
counting.
Gotcha.
This is just what's being counted. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I know
Wait,
stuff.
so
Yeah,
statistically,
you know,
didn't they just say that no Republican has ever won without winning Ohio? Right?
That's
Yeah.
right. No president. As
only
goes Ohio,
two
then so
Democrats
goes
have.
the
Only
the
two
country.
Democrats have.
I'm not trying to get excited yet, though, about anything about look what's going on, because I feel like
North
everything
Carolina
switches.
just
Carolina
flips
just
to
flipped to
flip.
Trump also.
Get the fuck out. Oh,
If
they
you-
did?
if-
by 1,000.
Those states
If you
normally
win
go
North
red, though,
Carolina-
don't they? Those,
No,
North
no.
Carolina.
Is that? Oh, wow. Really?
They are swing states. So Ohio,
This is only
Virginia,
swing
North
states we're
Carolina,
looking at now.
Swing
Florida
states.
is
Meanwhile,
huge.
they've had some of the fucking hardest discrimination laws in the fucking country in recent years. So, I mean,
Well, not all of them.
that's
like
not.
Colorado's a swing state.
It's not
too.
super surprising to see, to be honest.
This is just the swing states. I have. And
The-
Trump
these
has
are some of the biggest. Wow, that's
4 to
crazy.
3.
Really the biggest ones that.
Yeah, one of them is New Hampshire, which is only 4. So
Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania are.
So let's talk
Florida's
about
one of the
this.
biggest
Let's
states.
talk about this. Let's put on our future goggles for a second here. Let's talk about what do you see with each candidate if they win? Like, what-
Do we'll go around the circle?
yeah, whatever. Like,
Let's go around the circle.
So how do you
go
see?
Candidate
how do you
around a
see-
circle?
yeah.
Candidate around a circle.
How do you see the next 4 years with Trump in office? What
Trump
do you
is
see?
hard to say. It could be.
We were talking about this before, right?
Right.
So go ahead. I'll let you summarize it. Like,
So with Trump, where he's not the establishment as far as a career politician, he's still the establishment. He's the 1%. He's not. You know, he may be looking to shake things up in office, so that could be a good thing for sure. But at the same time, he's still going to be looking to protect his investments, protect his money.
he's a wild card.
Right.
Yeah.
So I could see him definitely doing some shit, and maybe doing some shit that other politicians wouldn't be willing to do because they're not backed, or they were backed by these big companies.
Yeah.
You know, some of the pharmaceutical things, tobacco things. He's not taking
He's
money
not
from
beholden
these-
to these people.
Right.
As much. Anyway.
Yeah,
as much.
right. As much as all these other lobbyists. Like, the fact that you could be a lobbyist, and that's like a profession.
Yeah.
It's just fucking disgusting. It's crazy. Like that could be your whole goal or whole motive in life is to swing politicians one way or the other for business purposes, and that's it. It's just fucking crazy.
Well, this is what I haven't figured Trump out. I don't know a whole lot about Trump outside of what everybody knows about Trump. He's a fucking real estate mogul and his stupid TV show, right? Like, and Miss America.
Right.
But like, judging from the outside looking in, like, Hillary Clinton is a career politician. So Hillary wins. It's more the same status quo. Not much change. It's the same
Short of her getting fucking indicted and impeached. And
Right, but like whatever. Her husband,
going on for
same shit happened to her husband, but like
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, it's a little different. Getting your
It's
dick
different.
sucked
I
and
know, it's
fucking
different, but it's the
spreading
same
classified
process.
information out, like
Different things, different scandals, same processes, right?
Right.
And
So,
the
whatever.
scandals go back to Arkansas too.
Yeah.
Like there's
sure.
crazy amount of scandals that are much worse than lost emails
Right.
and
They've been doing dirt for a long
BJs.
time. So, but whatever. It's more of the same, right? It's more of the same. Trump, to me, is a wild card. It's like I don't know. Like I wonder how much this shit is all just based on his fucking ego. Like I don't know how much like his rants of making America great again. It's like, do you really think he gives a fuck?
I think he believes in that.
Do you do?
I do. I believe that he's honest about that. Other things, not so much. But I do think that he would look at it as a feather in his cap if he was able to make the country even a little bit better than it is.
So
And
you maybe
it might
think
be-
there might be some benevolence coming out of his ego.
Yeah, I think it's an ego thing. When you're a billionaire, you could spend literally $1 million a day for the rest of your life and never run out of money. Like, it's not like he's like, oh, I got to get to the next status, trillionaire. That doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually.
So I mean,
he's not going to get there first anyway.
what does everybody?
Fucking
What do you think?
It'll be Putin.
Yeah.
What do you think?
As far as
Why?
it's my turn to go around.
I get, yeah, I mean, whatever.
I'm going to give you the analytic breakdown of. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen if he gets into office.
Let's hear it. I'm interested.
First thing, Congress is going to deadlock. They're not going to pass anything for him because they're going to punish him and the American people for electing him, a non-politician.
They've been doing that for at
no,
least
no,
the last
it's gonna be
4
on-
years.
It's going to be on another level.
It's been unfucking real
Yeah, but
already.
this is
I
going
mean,
to
it's
be
been unreal.
He's going to
already.
get blocked by Republicans as well.
100%. No, 100%. I mean, Republicans have been blocking. I mean, that's again, it's not going to be a surprise. We
No, the
we understand that the
Republicans
not all Republicans haven't accepted him, but we've already been dealing with Republican Congress that has been just, I mean, absolutely, they blocked everything that this administration has tried to.
Yeah, but that's at least all right. We're blocking the other team. This is going to be the Democrats and the Republicans
Right.
working cumulatively together against the president, just so that he can't put any feather in his cap.
It's going to be like watching a fullback sack your own quarterback.
Right. But
That's what it's going to be looking at.
But to even just accept it as it makes sense. They've been blocking the other team. I mean, regardless, it has literally been similar to watching third graders act. So I mean, again, there's no difference to me. I mean, it's still completely
That's the same.
unacceptable what's happening.
Something that will change by the end of the year if he's elected. Before he even gets inaugurated, they're going to raise the interest rates. I guarantee. I'm willing to bet. I'll bet any amount of money that will happen. To anyone that wants to put up money, I'll bet any amount of money that the interest rates will raise before the end of the year, and that's because the economy is going to go in the shitter, and that's going to be the long-term game plan to hurt him. That's going to be the second thing that happens.
All right,
I'll bet any amount of money.
my
Anyone wants to put
wallet
up? Anyone listening to this, and you want to put money up? I'll take your bet.
I'll tell you what's going to be probably the biggest thing, no matter who wins, is going to be the Supreme Court justices.
that is big.
It's going to be fucking tremendous.
They'll be doing all the locking.
Well, here's the thing: if Hillary wins, she's going to appoint more Democratic, social, and they're going to control the Supreme Court. So you're going to see
4
laws. Yeah, well, not even just 4 years.
No, 40.
Oh yeah, okay.
Until they
yes.
die.
Right. There's no term limit,
Yeah,
which is
30
fucking
years, 40
insane
years,
anyway.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But you're going to see a completely Democratic-run Supreme Court. So they're going to put socialist-type laws into effect.
Right.
I don't know if socialist is the word, but I know
Well, what
what you're
about
saying.
Trump talking about he wanted to appoint Supreme Court justices that would overturn Roe versus Wade?
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. Everyone knows that isn't going to happen.
That's
He's just
not
got
gonna
to. There's a Christian people in the middle of the country. There's lots of Christian people, and you have to say shit like
Michigan
that
just
so that they
flipped.
vote for
I'm
you.
sorry.
Come
Michigan
on,
just
there were-
flipped, people.
What?
Michigan just flipped by like 100 votes. Are you kidding me?
So Michigan
I'm not
says
trying to
he-
hear 100 votes. That's like a block.
Yeah, but even still, to think
That's
that
a bar.
Michigan is always.
No, Michigan
Well,
will swing. Michigan will swing.
Something else just.
Wow, so that Colorado just went up. Holy shit.
Colorado
Well,
just went?
Yo, Colorado.
When you
is,
say win,
yo,
when's
I'll
the
tell.
vote?
I'll tell you what.
Colorado's an unusual
No.
state.
Here's the thing, because Hillary is so anti-marijuana, I guarantee fucking Trump wins
Yeah,
Colorado.
Donald Trump gets
He's
it.
gonna win that shit
Two
because she
things-
already said that she's going to
Their
do
Schedule A
everything
or
that she
whatever
can
to keep
to make
marijuana
sure
legal.
that marijuana stays illegal
Marijuana
and
legal.
will
overthrow whatever they have going on there.
I'm watching in real time history. I think. I'm shocked.
Wow, this is
really pretty fucking crazy.
This is actually kind of insane.
I'm actually surprised. At
you know
the
what? The
difference
fucking.
in-
You know what? Not for nothing. And the American people asked for this.
Well,
they fucking asked for this. They've sat and watched for years. I mean, there's just been so much going on. Nobody's done anything about it. Obviously, these last, more so 10, 11 months, everyone's just become, obviously, this political professional. But, I mean, we asked for this.
It happens every 4 years. Every 4 years, everybody gets
Everyone's
a fucking
a political
political science
expert.
major
but
overnight.
here's something interesting, and I don't know if we're making the right conclusions, because I have a feeling that a lot of this has to do with just Trump having being the general TV show guy. I know Trump this, Trump, right? And it being such a circus, I think it brought in. They're saying that 100. They're expecting. I heard this on the radio on the way here. 100. They're expecting 140 million voters this year. That's like.
It's a third of it.
It's almost. It's more than a
three?
third.
Yeah, it's more than a
40%.
third.
That's
It's more than
probably
a
the
third.
highest turnout in the last 60 years. Right?
But I think-
it might be based
They're
on
mad. They're angry
what was on
voters.
Channel
That's
five.
exactly-
angry voters.
I'm going to agree
They are
with what Chris is
angry
saying
voters.
right now.
They-
It's
It's all
because
that.
both the candidates are so polarizing and not in a positive way.
I've only listen. I'm only 31, and I mean, at this point, where I'm seeing a few elections. I mean, I consciously remember Clinton's re-election. I've never heard two candidates spoken like this. I mean, the
they've gone in
approval
the
rating
gutter.
of both is I just can't believe how disliked both
Garbage
are.
in,
But it
garbage
shows
out.
the bullshit. But it shows. It shows. I mean, people aren't doing the right things. People are angry.
And get another drink. Wisconsin flipped.
Yeah, there's wow.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, but that's
To quote
less than
George
1,000
Carlin,
votes total.
Listen, wait, well,
when you
and
have
I'm sorry,
selfish,
Dave. Hold
ignorant
on.
citizens,
Go,
you
go
get
ahead.
selfish, ignorant leaders. And that's what this has come down to.
Well,
I
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe that we've been selfish and ignorant for the last 20 to 30, if not more years.
We have.
And every candidate has just been smoother and more well-versed at sliding through the system without having things pop up. There's been no social media. Yeah, when have you ever had all of these crazy things coming out of the woodworks the last 2 weeks to several months before an election? But now with social media, it's uncovering all of these things that probably other candidates have done but have never been able to prove, or the story never gets big enough to know.
So, yeah, I guess you're right about that. But I mean, there's always some kind of scandals and garbage with.
No, there isn't. No, there isn't. There was
Politics.
absolutely nothing with Bush
who else?
and Gore. There's absolutely nothing.
No, not
with
in the
Bush
run up to it. though.
Against
Not
Kerry.
like this. Not in the run up to this. No, there was stuff with Bush and Kerry.
The Swift boat veterans.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was one minuscule topic about saying that
There was
somebody
nothing. There,
lied.
there was nothing in
about that.
comparison.
Fine.
Nothing in
There was
comparison.
no pussy
Nothing
grabbing
in- yeah.
emails.
No, we're
It
talking.
wasn't-
We're
it wasn't
talking.
the same spectacle
We're talking. No, it wasn't on the same moral
Magnitude,
level.
yeah.
It was whatever has happened behind the scenes politically that has destroyed this country has been just that, behind the scenes.
No, that's
And
not true.
what-
Because even Obama's thing, even with Obama, there's the whole birth certificate thing. There's
Yeah, but that was just bullshit.
Yeah,
That
no,
was-
but it doesn't matter.
But it
There's
was
still,
just bullshit.
it's still, this
We're
is- a lot of this
talking
stuff is-
about one candidate who has possibly jeopardized national security, which some people can think is bad and some people can think isn't. And then there's another who promotes rape culture, and there is a fucking problem
He's just an asshole.
with both of that. Well, again, maybe I'm sounding too much like a social justice warrior with saying that, but I do think it's a fucking problem. I don't know. I don't know. It's absolutely shocking.
When Obama saluting with his coffee hand was the big fucking scandal of the month. That was nice.
Listen, there's rules. There's rules
Now
for
it's
that. There's
another level.
nothing that I mean.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
People picked anything, and they do pick everything to go at anyone. You know what's shocking me right now? What's really killing me is I'm having a 1984 moment. I'm just seeing people who are either forgetting history or choosing not to believe. And again, this is just my personal opinion, and for anybody listening, I mean, you can take it for what it is. I think history is going to show that. And at first, I do just want to say I actually didn't vote for our current president in the last election, but I think history is going to show that these last 8 years are. I think he's going to go down as an amazing president. I think history is going to treat him well. I just think it's going to be that.
Sure, history's going to treat him well for right off the bat. He's the first black president ever. So history's going to treat him well for that.
Right. But what people won't understand, people there will be people that don't understand, and they don't understand how the process works, and there will be people that short-sight him for the things that he didn't do or whatever. And I'll be honest, I didn't vote for him the second time because I thought. Obamacare, and let me explain this before anybody jumps in. I thought Obamacare was a crock of shit. There's a lot of people that had to pay a lot of money, but when I look in retrospect, I mean, there are people that are insured that weren't insured. There's people who I'll put it as, or as they have put it, as walking death sentences who now have coverage. So I guess that does mean something, but there is a lot of scam behind it, and what we're hearing recently is that even those rates are going to go up. But the problem, as much as the problem was that people didn't have health care, it was that people didn't have jobs, and jobs weren't providing those benefits. So we implemented a system where people still had to pay money for something that they couldn't pay money for originally. And I'm a 31-year-old who walks around without health care, and I work.
You're so physically fit.
I try to be, but I have injuries. I do have injuries. I hurt my back last year. It was scary. It was brutal. I found there was a lump in my neck that I was never able to get checked, and it's kind of there. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, look.
I got a big ass machete. I'll
go.
cut that thing.
This
off.
was a month ago.
What'd you use?
I got killer healthcare, bro.
My friend did it.
I'm in.
Did you get your results?
No, I didn't.
Colorado's back in Clinton's favor. Like I said, listen. I said this when I walked in, and we were kind of bullshitting. The way I've been wording this is, I think that they are going to Game 7 this bitch. It's going to be high stakes until the end, and it's going to go into extra innings.
I believe so.
There's going to be a rain delay, though.
At the bottom.
Once again, God wants neither to live.
At the bottom, if you look, New Hampshire, which is
New Hampshire stayed blue the entire time.
Always blue.
Yeah.
But they're separated by that 200 votes.
Oh, just
flip. No.
100 votes.
About 100, a little over 100.
Yeah.
So what is this?
72 votes.
But look,
what does this tell
Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken, is a crucial state.
Yes.
And that right now is banging in Clinton's
Bang.
favor.
All right, so hold on.
Not as much as Florida is. If Trump can win Michigan, North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania is not going to. Yeah, Ohio is huge.
I don't believe Trump's going to win.
So
I don't either.
Hold on.
I don't
let's
either.
talk about this.
I don't
Let's
either.
talk about this
I
real
don't
quick.
either.
Go.
Because this is interesting to me. Because I don't have a fucking dog in the fight. So what I'm curious about is what
But you have
you can
some
look.
stake.
I don't have any stake because
you
I
may
have
not
zero
support.
stake.
You live here,
but
so
you may not. But you may not.
Hold on,
You may not support.
Hold on. No, let me finish.
Things are going to negatively affect you depending on which candidate is elected.
But I have. There's nothing I can
You're just
do
not
about
going
that.
to
But you still have a voice because
hold on.
I will let you go. But I do want to say something.
I've heard. I understand how the results will have an effect on my life. I'm not saying that there's not going to be an effect on my life. Yes, but here's the thing: is I don't have an attachment to either way on how it affects me. Because this is how I view it. I view it as, to me, it doesn't matter who gets in because I'm going to be affected by their policies. No matter what.
100%. You're
so
getting
that's
thrown
my
in the
view
grinder
on
with
this.
everything.
So I don't have a
100%.
dog in the fight. I don't really care who wins. I'm not going to be upset. I have been the last.
But there
4 years I've become willfully ignorant on this. But what I'm curious about is this. what this current election and how these states look like they're flip-flopping, changing, what it says about the current climate in the country.
That's what I'm excited about earlier.
Me too.
As we were speaking earlier, I said I want to see what the rates in New York are if Donald Trump, as a Republican, gets a higher margin than usual in New York just because he is a New Yorker.
Right.
Because theoretically, he should get a higher margin in New York because he's a New Yorker running in a red state. I don't think he's going to win, but I think that he will do better than Mitt Romney did in the last election or whomever was running in the election before that.
And I'm curious about this too because it makes me wonder where people are now because if I've paid somewhat attention on Facebook and what I can tell, and even today just scrolling through like people's status updates and stuff like that, what it seemed like most people were disgusted with their candidate choices. Most people don't want to vote for either one of these fucking people.
But listen. When you kind of hear the whispers that have gone on even more recently, I don't even know how to talk about this anymore. But Bernie, I'm
gonna be honest with you. You've been doing a bad job tonight about
it. Because there's no fucking words for it. There are absolutely no fucking words for it. You know, and
There's
I can
four words for it.
I could be
grab him by the pussy.
That would be fine.
That would be fine.
Yeah.
Now, grab him is one word.
grab him.
There's an apostrophe
Grab 'em.
in there after the G. Grab apostrophe EM. Grab him.
Grab him. It's like the redneck twerk.
Oh my god.
I gotta get back twerk.
I mean, I could be called delusional, but I mean, I do think there is a hit the street vibe that kind of needs to happen. I don't know. I don't know what that does. I think people are fed up. I don't think they're doing the right thing about it.
Well, what's the right thing?
But this is the first step.
To
this
fucking
is the first
rip
chance.
these people out of office, and
No, but this is a zero-sum game. If you are, and this I'm generalizing here, but it seems like the average person doesn't like either one of these candidates. So it's a zero-sum game. If you are the average person, how do you affect any change? And this is my problem with the whole political process, because in a country of 320 million people,
well, apparently
these two people is democracy.
Well, apparently, you know, apparently protesting is frowned upon. You can't even talk about any type of political uprising, or civilian uprising. You can't throw these people out of office, and that's actually what should happen.
You know, to get rid of them, I can tell you when they'll be gone. When the millennials get older, and all of the people that are part of the establishment now die. That'll be the only thing that changes.
There's people coming out of that younger generation. There are replicas coming out of that, out of our generation.
I believe we have the ability to change.
Listen, I didn't even think... in the late 90s, maybe I was naive, but in the late 90s, correct me if I'm wrong, last time I was on this show, we spoke about Woodstock 99. I mean...
I was there.
The urban culture was very much a part of our white lives, and bottom line, I think there was a part of me that didn't even think racism was going to exist at some point, just because we were, and call me naive, we didn't have the internet, so you couldn't really see what a lot of people that you see now are actually thinking, but bottom line, there was a part of me that didn't even think racism was going to exist, and to just kind of see where everything's going, I'm just...
Well, if you look at it like that, this is where I go back to about selfish, ignorant citizens, selfish, ignorant leaders. Because where do you think people get racism from? It's learned. That's taught. That's handed down from parenting.
Right.
Like, you don't.
I don't know. I think some of it is due to experiences that individuals have.
Yeah, but you don't. But you don't think some of that gets skewed from
Sure, I'm sure.
Listen, I think there is a natural instinct within people to be possibly cautious of people that may not, be of their cultural background or
You're
religion.
not born a racist.
Listen. There's a natural instinct of things to be that. So you're saying in the wild that certain animals.
We're not in the wild.
But that's the thing. People give humans this fucking benefit of the doubt because we have so much. possibility to
agree with
reason
you on
with,
this.
and we have
No.
people.
Because
If you
this
live,
is-
If bullshit. Wait, hold on. There's one thing. Hold on.
talking over each other. No, just
There's one thing I want to say.
Finish the point.
It's bullshit because there is this idea that we have this unbelievable brain power that we can reason, that we're supposed to automatically just deny all natural instinct. And listen, I am not a fucking racist person, but I'm just going by my experience of what I have fucking seen by people, and it seems that nobody has been able to just fucking throw this natural instinct within themselves to just not be comfortable around somebody who is not of their own breed. But I agree with you.
No, but you're making. Let me explain what you're saying and why that's false. Because what you're pointing to, I understand, because that's you can look at this, and this is a good metaphor for it. Okay, never before, except for the modern times, have you been able to get on a boat, go to a different country, fucking get into their shores, into foreign lands, and they welcome you because you're a fucking tourist. They see money, and the new people are not feared. Wow. Thousands of years ago, or hundreds of years ago, sorry, not thousands, hundreds of years ago, if you saw a ship coming, you ran because there was a fucking invading army. Okay? Now it's tourism, okay? Because we've mapped out most of the world. People know things, people know each other, and we know that there's this like weird social agreement now. So I understand what you're saying about people and being weary of other people. That is an inherent natural instinct. But racism is not an inherent natural instinct.
I agree with you.
The line you were drawing with that, I understand. But to put that towards racism,
right. I understand it. And if we talk about it in some type of textbook definition context, like I do understand what you're saying. But there are those blurred lines where, listen, there are people out there who get labeled as a racist who may not actually just be racist.
Self-preservation is the strongest emotion there is.
Exactly, 100%.
Right,
so,
but how's that? I don't see how that even blurs the line towards racism.
Well, they might be.
Well, they can be labeled. They can be labeled as it and thrown in that boat.
You didn't hire this minority over this other person that was equally over the white person that's equally qualified. Yes,
no, that's
because I had bad
shit. That's
because
not
I had bad experience. But that's what's
right. But have we not even just fall into a place where you can be labeled for the smallest thing?
Yeah.
I mean, have we not fallen into
Right,
the place?
Listen, if you're deciding to vote for Trump, there's a giant portion of the population that would say you're a racist. Just because you decided to vote for a guy.
I understand that.
Or not even just a racist, a sexist.
I mean, Dave, I listen.
A pussy grabbing.
Right, but we've gone away.
You're right. You're right. We have gone away from the original point because what I do understand what you're saying. It's not an inherent. You're right. Racism by definition is not something you inherit when you are born. Absolutely,
it's learned.
But it is absolutely learned. But I do think that there are just some instinctual qualities that humans possess that could lump them in the sum that categorizes them as a racist.
No, I think only stupid people would think that. Honestly,
there's a lot of fucking stupid people in the world, and there's a lot of stupid people running the fucking
that's like
country
8 out of 10
and the planet.
people, Dave. 8 out of 10
but I'm
people
not
we're talking about here.
But I'm
8
not
out of 10 people.
I'm not debating that, though. I'm not debating.
You're just saying that it's not something that's ingrained in you. It's not like your ability to see or your ability to breathe.
It's not a natural instinct. And my point is, it's
a learned behavior.
Right. And you know why? Right. Stupid people teach that learned behavior.
I agree with you. Some of it's learned through experience, through personal experience as well.
Here's a social experiment that they actually did with babies. So they took, I don't remember the exact number of babies, and they took them black, white, Latino, Asian, whatever, a mix of kids, like infants, and none of them had a problem like playing with each other. There was no issues with interactions within these young kids that have had no real social experiences that would instill
social norms,
ingrain social, stereotypes or racism or anything that way. There was no issues. There was no problems with them, interacting, playing, whatever, doing anything. Like, racism is a learned trait.
My son would go play with a saber-toothed tiger though. if you like put him in the same room with one. So
Your son
When
also
that
licks.
saber-toothed tiger fucks him up, he's gonna hate saber-toothed tigers.
Yep, and then you know what? He's going to be very racist against saber-toothed tigers for the rest of his existence.
Exactly.
I understand what you're saying, but here's why I still say it goes back to what you're taught and what you learn, because
Yeah, but a learned behavior. But if you're learning based upon experience, like I'll give you an example. We all know, you and I know someone that's got the glassy look in his eyes, and you know there's not a lot going on back here. And I'm sure you've seen that same
is
look.
right here, bro.
Sorry, Mike.
It's definitely more of a twinkle.
I call it glint. He's got a glint in his eye.
But you know what I mean? When you see people and you look and they have some genetic trait right away that you see, and you can just tell, like, all right, this is something, not necessarily saying they're dumb, not necessarily saying they're anything, but you know that certain people with certain genetic traits have general dispositions about them that others do not. And I don't think that feeling that way is whatever you would call it, racist or being biased against them, because I feel like that's a learned behavior based upon your past experiences, and it's not you singling a person out like, oh, I don't like this person. You want to go, Chris?
You're missing a racist thought is not by looking at a person, looking at their actions, looking at their disposition, things like that. It's looking at them and going, that's a black guy, he's fucked up. Or that's a Hispanic guy, he's fucked up. That's racism. I'm not looking at somebody and going, wow, I can look at their face and see that they have nothing fucking going on right now. Oh, that's just a fucking idiot.
Right.
Yeah, but
Because you say that about anybody.
Right, but I look at that, but it's like the same thing. Make that guy a black guy, and make that black guy look like one of the guys from Gordon Heights that robs people that I'm friends with. And you know what? I look, oh, this guy's my friend. Yeah, he's a criminal. He robs people. Then I'm in Baltimore. I see somebody that's exhibiting similar body language, similar behavior. Guess who I'm not going to go hang out with?
But that's outside perception of what you're doing. What you're doing is basing your
Self-preservation.
opinion on what you're seeing and what you're understanding and what you're knowing that this person is like.
And I feel like a lot of people that are accused of being racist probably fall into that same situation, the same category. Like, I would never walk down and be like, oh, I don't like that guy because he's black. But I probably don't like a lot of people that are black because they fit in certain characteristics of molds of people that I've had negative experiences with.
But
I'm not
it's
choosing
twofold.
black people because it's very easy for us
But
as
here's the
Americans.
difference. Here's the difference, and here's why I say it's learned, and here's why I say it's learned in the home. Because here's the difference. What you're saying is true, because it does come down to self-preservation, right? Because you have to. Every human being does this. You information chunk, and you make generalizations.
But why do you make them?
Why? For self-preservation and for information. I get that. I'm not disagreeing with you, but here's where it comes. Here's where it comes down to the refinement process of that information chunking, right? So like you said with Max, if Max played with the saber-toothed tiger because he's a kid, he'd love it, but if the saber-toothed tiger fucked him up, he would hate it. That's where it comes back to, okay,
and I'm sure
as
a
the
higher
parent,
percentage of saber-toothed tigers
no,
are
it has
going to
nothing
fuck
to do with
him
that.
up.
It has nothing to do with that. What it has to do is, so if you put that into real terms, say he's a kid and he had no instinctual racist behavior, but he had a bad experience with a black guy or a Spanish guy or whatever, and he comes back and he has this experience, it's up to the parent to put that in the proper perspective, I think. Right? If you're there to shape it.
What if the probability happens to be much higher with one race of person than the other race of person?
You still have to help them make sense of that information. You have to help them make sense of that, because
just in general, what if it's continual? Like, I have an 80% negative interaction rate with Asians, and 80%, and I have only I have a 40% negative interaction rate with Caucasians.
Yeah, but you're talking about it right now as you. With the mental.
So you're talking about being raised as a racist, as opposed to performing racist actions as an adult.
Right, but everyone's gonna have a different view on that. Everyone's gonna most likely I mean, are you ever gonna find someone that doesn't have better interactions with their own?
It doesn't matter, is what I'm saying.
Right, you're right.
Because your son,
but that's just a statistic that you'll never be able to really judge, because
information chunking, and it's up to you to put that information into context for him and help him make sense of it. Now, ultimately, you can't make the final judgment for him. As he gets older, if he experiences, like you said, 80% negative, rates, he can turn around and go, you know what, my father's a fucking idiot. This is what I think, and he might think that way. Then it's on him based on those experiences or whatever. But
But I feel like
Do
as
you
an
understand what I'm
adult, I
saying?
feel like as an adult though, like most people come to their own like decisions, and they come up with their own like. I mean, how many people grow up in a racist household and then aren't racist? Like down the road, or how many people grow up in a household where maybe there was some negative talks about whomever, like you grow up, oh, Chinese people can't drive, and like there's lots. Like, there you go. Like I grew up in a house. I grew up in a household.
Fucking yard, bro.
I grew up in a household, and nobody would ever be like overtly racist or negative about like other groups. But I've dated all the different races, and I've never had like a problem with it. But if I'm walking down an alley and I see like a bunch of black guys, I'm probably going to turn around and go the other way. Just because I know that the likelihood of me having a negative interaction is much higher than if I walk down the alleyway and there's a whole bunch of Chinese kids.
Right, and I'm not saying that makes you racist either. I'm not saying that makes you racist. What I'm saying is that's information chunking and making sense of the information. That's different between
the self-preservation.
Right, and that's different between learned information chunking behavior and probability and stuff like that than just blatantly hating somebody based on.
I don't know very
race,
many people
skin
that do
color.
that. Then
There's a lot, and like what you say too is about
don't
like
hang out with them.
like as adults who grow up and make their own decisions. Somebody grew up in a racist home and stuff like that, and the likelihood of them staying that way. Look at religion. Look at politics, man. A lot of that stuff is indoctrination. A lot of people grow up in ultra religious homes and grow up ultra religious. A lot of people grow up. Hey. Today they're voting Democrats. Why? Because their parents were Democrats. They're Catholics because their parents were Catholics. They're racist because their fucking parents were racist. I'm not saying that's all across the board, but I feel like it's a big chunk.
I mean, that's why I'm a racist.
No, wait. So hold on.
I think I'm a racist too.
Wait. Fucking lie to me.
No, I like the blacks are higher up than they're not like that low on my totem pole. If I was having like if I was labeling them, I might put them. I'm gonna put them up there with the whites. It's gonna go blacks and whites. Fuck the Asians because they cause a lot of car accidents. I like their women. I like their women though. So they're close number two. They're a close number two.
So hold on a second.
It depends what kind of black. It depends.
We went from almost having a respectable discussion
So fast.
so
It just went so fast.
We were so close to having a
went
respectable
downhill
discussion.
Wait.
I want to break this down. If we're talking whites, I need to have different types of whites because there's some white people. There's some countries that produce white people that I hate. Denmark, get the fuck out of here.
All right, fine. We'll take
so
the
happy.
chicks,
Fuck
but
that.
no Irish.
All snooty and shit.
Yeah.
So wait. So
We were so
So you're a
close.
drummer. I understand you're a drummer.
That's a great segue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. That's so hard to come
First
out
time a
of.
crippled guy ever walked the conversation in direction.
Yeah, well, we had a great talk the last time I was here. I mean, we talked about a bunch of shit. I was asking you guys questions. I think we missed a bunch of stuff.
Well, I'm fucking interested. Let's
Listen,
go.
let's go. I don't know if anybody has even. Well, hold on.
Before we get into this, I was going to say something about Quail Man shirt. Wait,
so
are you?
skanky that
do you
knows
have
some
any
fucking
relatives from-
shit. I love them.
Before we start asking questions, you don't have any relatives from Denmark, right?
No relatives. I'm Irish and Puerto Rican. I have that. That's it. That's all.
Your underwear aren't outside. You don't have a fucking belt around your head. So.
That's it.
Get the shirt on though.
I went half-assed with the costume, but I am wearing a Quail Man shirt.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh, that's a Quail Man shirt.
Yeah.
It's a Quail Man shirt. It's a Quail Man shirt. I should
it's a
figure out. I
Quail
don't want
Man
to make
shirt.
it walk
Patty
over.
Pickles?
I made him walk.
It was worth it. It was worth every
We didn't even get into this last time I was on the show. We didn't talk. I do some voice acting, and Eric is absolutely beasting it right now. Right there.
Can I put you on social media right now?
I think we should all
You can
do
put me on
one, and
social
they should
media.
all pop up.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
you.
No, why not? Definitely you.
Yes, yeah.
Crack that door just a little bit.
People got tested this week. I can't take the chance.
Oh, that's my. I thought that was an ashtray, but that was my drink.
You want one?
If
Yeah,
you
okay.
want.
You got it?
Oh no. I thought there was one right there. Whatever. My hand works.
That's my drink. Don't you say it.
Here, use the pad.
That's great. That's great.
Nice.
Tastes great too.
America.
Tastes great too. For all those that don't know, am I allowed to talk about this at all? Can I talk about this? Or-
As much as you want to talk about
We
it.
are.
There's no rules. It's the
We're
internet,
staying
dog.
medicated right now. There's a lot
celebrating
of sick
America.
people in this room.
It's the
Oh
internet.
wow, hold on, that was actually tougher.
Can we
than I
see if
thought
the
it was.
proposition passed in Massachusetts? That'll have a
Absolutely.
that'll have a more definitive effect on my life than either candidate. So
I'm hearing LA is
they're
interesting
voting
with
too.
it. I'm not from California or LA, California.
Shitty masks
Um,
like that. It's hard to get.
I hear they're not allocating the money necessarily in the right places that Colorado might be doing. I'm hearing there's a lot of they're not going to distribute that money for education or for housing. I mean,
There you go, Mr. Ott.
I'll pass this over.
No, there's your answer.
what do we
Bingo,
have?
bango, boogo. Is that done or?
No, 20% reporting.
Okay, so Massachusetts right now, we're talking about the recreational use of marijuana initiative that they have up on the ballot, and it looks like only 20% is reported, but it's up 53 to 47 percent right now is
Yeah,
for passing. This is for full recreational
It
use.
allows the possession, use, distribution, and cultivation of limited amounts of marijuana by persons aged 21 and over.
So basically, you'll need no permit, no medical ID, and you'll be able to grow up to 12 plants in your own home, for your own personal use. And they're going to have a commercial. They'll be able to apply for permits to grow commercially if you're a corporation, etc. So that's one of the states. I think there are 9 states total where there's some type of legalization up on the ballot. They're one. Arizona is another one. New Mexico, California. Maine has medical. I
There'll
don't
be a
know what
whole
the others
block
are.
if it passes. I was told in the Midwest, basically, you can just roll out and be in the
I
weed country, dog.
will never understand this fight for the federal prohibition of
Listen,
of
we,
this.
I've seen,
Money, bro.
I've seen.
But
the-
there's but there's more money to be made.
no, absolutely, he's
Then-
absolutely right.
Yeah, but it's gonna be made
They're
by
not-
other people.
They're not. They're not
now.
positioned.
But you
people-
get, the government always gets its cut in everything. I mean, listen,
Yes.
if they're
It's the
if they're
people that
that worried, I mean, if they're that worried
They are.
about losing the cut
They
on
are.
prison, okay, all right, I get it. And that brings me to another point: why we're not fucking tackling that issue of this privatized prison system. But again, are they that worried about losing the cut on what they lose in the judicial system of processing people?
There's that component of it. So you have all of the law enforcement and lobbyists for the law enforcement, corrections officers. The drug test, there's an actual drug testing lobby that donates money. So the companies like Quest Diagnostic that do the drug tests,
Right.
they have a huge lobby that donates tons and tons of money to politicians
We're
in
still
order to
testing
keep
for
it
so
illegal.
many other drugs, though.
No, but that's the only one that stays in your system for 30 days.
Yeah,
And that's the only that's the only drug that people get caught with. So
That's the only
It's the
drug. That's the only
low-hanging
drug
fruit.
I'm worried about getting caught with.
It's the low-hanging fruit.
So you have that aspect. Then you have another whole aspect of the prescription drug companies that are trying to block it. Then you have the third aspect, which are the people in power aren't positioned at which to capitalize off of it. Which I'm sure many of them have been scrambling. Many of them have been scrambling. Like one of the guys that distributes medically in New York is the brother of a state senator that owns a corporation that private equity groups own. So. I mean, I think that it's going to come. It's just going to come very, very slowly, and it's going to come state by state. And as it does, they're going to position themselves, and they're going to learn each state how to do it and gear the no longer like the getting rid of the prohibition ban on marijuana. They're going to gear it so that they can capitalize on it more efficiently.
Well, Colorado is the guinea pig.
And Colorado's not even doing
Well,
a
and
phenomenal.
Washington also.
Yeah, but they nobody even brings them up because they did such a poor job implementing their strategy to collect that it's just a fucking free for all.
Well, it's
in the
not as
entire state.
but that can also come into hand of. I
It's better
mean,
for
was
the
it just
prison.
that? I mean, did Washington just fail in their deliverance of this, or I mean,
It's better for the average person the way
Right.
it is in Washington than it is in Colorado because
well,
the
there's
tax.
less people per capita.
Yep, but the other thing is the tax dollars going to the state aren't necessarily a good thing. Like a lot of people look at that as a benefit, and I think that it is a very big benefit for states where you have to do a lot of arm twisting and convincing in order to get it passed. You can bring it up, oh yeah, it's positive, money for roads, money for schools. But overall, when you're sending money up into the sky, there's lots of layers of bureaucracy. Whereas right now you buy marijuana in New York, your marijuana money goes to some guy that's selling it to you who goes to a restaurant and takes his girlfriend out and then goes buys his kids some shoes from the shoe store. Whereas if 30% of that's going up to Albany, where is that money going? How is that helping the people immediately around you if they send that money up to Rome, New York, on the Canadian border? You're not seeing any benefit from it.
We're already getting shafted on where taxes and all those things are.
I don't think I realized how deep your knowledge goes on some of these things, Eric. I'm impressed.
Finance and economics, MBA.
He's got his finger on the pulse, baby.
I don't mean this as a negative either, because I know it's not like I don't know that you're an intelligent person. But when I hear you break things down for somebody like me who's uninitiated, I know what you're talking about right away. That's actually pretty impressive, because not a lot of people have the ability to take something that somebody doesn't know anything about and like lay it out like that. Like that made a ton of sense to me right now. And I knew I'm coming from zero, so that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. Maybe when Trump launches his TV network, he'll let me explain things like that to people.
Listen, that hurt me to give you props, just so you know. I know. Which means you really fucking earned it, because I really didn't want to give you any.
I hope that marijuana gets legalized everywhere, just because I feel like it's the right thing to do for the country as a whole. There's obviously
there are so
tons
many
of medicinal
opponents.
values.
There are so many opponents of this older generation that just do not want to see it, and I think 2 or 3 years ago, I thought this thing was coming in less than a decade. Now I think it's going to be a little longer than that.
Well, evolution's a slow process in everything. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
exactly.
Everything is a slow process, and to kind of circle back to what we were talking about originally is and my curiosity and all this election. I've been wondering about a lot of things, and I might be repeating myself on some of these things, especially from the previous podcast when we did the debate one. But it's got me wondering, and like you touched on this before about how social media and all these bombshells and scandals that come out. The game is changing, man. Like
people are finding out the fucked up things that people do behind closed doors.
Not just that, though. Not just that. Man, this is not a representative democracy.
This is not.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work. We don't need it anymore. The internet has changed everything, man. Everybody, and it's a double-edged sword, because everybody has a voice. Even people that
shouldn't have a voice.
I don't know.
But that's what it was.
Shouldn't.
Right. But this listen. It's. I think through all of it, we're actually finally everyone is having that voice, and as I think you're implying is. Maybe that wasn't always the case,
right?
And
you don't have to. We don't. You don't have to travel to Washington D.C. to vote.
Right.
We don't need to have.
You don't need to be at every even.
I don't need to elect one person in this room to speak for us.
Right.
Every single person has a voice on a national scale, on a world scale.
Did we get into electoral college that I missed it?
No, but we're going there now.
It's getting in that.
I
Yeah,
saw
it's
a good
going
thing
there.
today about that.
Let's hear it.
What's the name of that show? It's some fucking loser ruins everything. Is the name of it?
Adam
ruins
No,
everything.
he's not a loser. He's from here. He's a local kid, so don't knock him.
Yeah.
Loser. Anyway,
He's
I watched a
hustler,
little
man.
segment of it on actually with the lady who plays Amy Matthews from Boy Meets World, Corey's mom. They did a little segment together. It was awesome. Anyway, it's about the Electoral College, about how it's this like someone's vote in Montana means more. No, they use Wyoming. Sorry, someone's vote in Wyoming means more than someone's vote in California, because in Wyoming, for every electoral vote that they have, it's like 110 people, 110,000 people. Sorry. In California, for every electoral vote they have, it's like 410,000 people.
Right.
So someone in Wyoming, their vote counts 3 times more than someone in California, if you look at it that way.
Right.
Okay. Well,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's true, and it's possible to only win 30% or 31% of the vote in the United States
And win
and have
the-
enough electoral votes to win the election.
Right.
That's
But
what
now-
happened with George Bush, and not to that extreme, but with George Bush and Al Gore initially in 2000 or 2001? 2000?
2000 election for
2001
presidency.
Well, don't
So-
we think that's a little bit like
I think it's insane.
antiquated now?
I think it's insane. I think we should all go on the internets on election day on our cell phones, and we should type in our name, birth date, and social security number, and we should all put our votes in.
I
They should-
disagree with that.
I think that
I
they
didn't
should
even get ID'd when I went to vote today.
I think
just
they-
gave them my name.
I think
they're
that-
like, okay, cool, go vote.
I think that they should run through.
Well, their excuse is they don't want anyone to not vote who possibly couldn't or didn't know how to obtain an ID, which I just think is ridiculous in
That is
itself.
ridiculous.
But I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. It's a civil right. I
For
mean,
all those people that never drove a car, for all
Right.
those people that don't use the bank,
But
for
there
all
has
those
to be
people
some
that
sort of
don't have
proof that
any
you're
bills,
you. How do they know
no
I'm
bills.
Mike Skanga? They asked me if I was Matt Skanga.
Right.
I could be
I
like,
believe
yeah,
it.
Matt Skanga, and I
well,
could go
what
vote for
the
him.
problem? Well,
Could.
Yeah.
is
Or you could send your buddy in and be like, this is Matt.
Yeah,
Right?
right? They didn't ID me at
But
all.
if we
They
do
were
it-
like,
if-
what's your last name? I said Skanga. And they were like, oh, are you Matt? They turned the page. I was on the first name on the next page. First name, no big deal. And they were like, oh, you're Michael? Okay. And I had my ID in my hand, figuring I have to prove I'm Michael Skanga to vote as Michael Skanga. Everyone should have some form of ID. I don't care.
agree.
That is rule number one.
well. Let me ask this then. Did that give? I mean, I don't know. I feel like this might be tough to talk about. I don't want to steer this in any direction, but does that give the opportunity for people who are possibly illegal or not
Absolutely
allowed to
does.
be here to
If you
to
can
vote
read
to
upside down,
vote?
then you can do it.
And I mean that, but that is a problem for our system, right? That I mean, right? We all agree.
I wonder how many people illegally vote though. Like I feel like that takes a lot of gall. Maybe like a write-in ballot if you can finagle it that way. But to show up at the polling place and impersonate somebody else, and you only get one. And we were all talking about how our votes don't make a difference anyway.
Voter fraud to me is like steroids. You'll never be able to eliminate it. People will always constantly be looking to cheat. No matter how you try to do it, people will try to cheat these things, right? There's always going to be somebody willing to roll the dice and take steroids, no matter what the testing procedures are. People are always going to do it. There's always going to be fraud in one way or another, whether it's showing up and voting the way we do now or voting on the internet. So I think there's just no way around it. As long as there's people, that's going to be a problem. And no matter how the voting system is done, people are always going to be looking to scam it and rig it. That's across the board in everything that goes on. You know what I mean? So I don't think you're ever going to get rid of it. But I think there's definitely a more efficient way to tally a vote now than the electoral fucking college. I think we've moved past that. I think it's an antiquated system. I think representative democracy is an antiquated system.
And I don't think it's going anywhere because the powers to be sort of like it that way. And I feel like, as
Because
I said
it's
earlier,
ever changing. It's so funny how districts change. It's ever changing.
If Trump wins, the next election is going to be on fucking lockdown. They're going to they're like, oh no, we need fucking all sorts of shit.
political history, public service. There's going to be some public service minimum
Watch.
mandate.
But he doesn't have. But he doesn't have anybody. I mean, Mike Pence. I mean, listen. There's people that obviously he had to swing one way and harder Republican than anything. So he brought on a team of very hardcore conservative Republicans. I mean, who, in my personal opinion, they haven't contributed anything different to break up this power that be type of. I mean, nobody has contributed anything to break up this system. I mean, so this illusion that Trump would be the answer to that. I mean, Mike Pence is just as much as part of the problem as some people would think even Hillary Clinton is. I mean,
Sure.
we're talking about the same
Career politician,
the same
same shit.
They're all running the same store.
Right.
So I just don't understand. I mean, there's this illusion that people are still not breaking the illusion, and I don't know. It's tough to face. Sorry, I don't have the words for it, guys.
I feel like if we glean any amount of positivity out of this election, not what's going to happen in the next 4 years, but out of this election, it's shining light on the fact that the people are unhappy with the system that's in place and the things that have been going on for the last, 16 years, 20 years. People are unhappy and they want something different.
I would agree with you on that. I think that this election is big in that way because I think that this is a turning point. This is like, and to quote Rogan again, this is either the last gasp of a dying system because it's becoming clear that this system doesn't work anymore.
Doesn't work.
Because like I said before, man, I felt like just by going through, scrolling through Facebook, a lot of people were casting votes that they hated to do. Like, people didn't want to vote for either one of these fucking people.
Right, I understand, but at the end of the day, and this comes with all things, I mean, is it is it actually that the system doesn't work, or is it always the abuse of these systems?
No,
I mean,
the system doesn't work. Yeah,
The system doesn't work because no matter, even if you abuse the system, I don't think it matters because that's always going to happen. It's just like voter fraud and things like that. People are always going to try and cheat. People are always going to abuse the system. They're always going to game. But this system in particular.
Well, here's the problem: is we're using a system that was developed well before the technology and the information, and
That's what we've been saying. It's
like,
antiquated.
It's
Yeah.
so
Only the last
antiquated.
16
It's so.
years.
But
Think
not
about
just that. Not just that. Think about this.
There was
And-
no Facebook with George W. Bush.
Yes, there was. No, there wasn't.
Not the first-
Not the
no,
first time
absolutely
around. Not the
not.
first time around. You're right. Not the first time.
So I'm just saying, there was no
Second
Twitter.
election.
There was
But-
no. This is like
Beyond all that,
But even
here's
even
my
before
problem.
that,
about that.
Beyond all that,
No fucking
when you really
Google
look at this,
before.
when you look at this from my perspective, and I'm curious to see if anybody else shares my sentiment on this. In a country of what 320 million people,
Yeah, about.
democracy is a choice between two people.
No.
That's the problem with the system to me. Because really, if you think about this, and I could be wrong, but my general impression, like I said, that I got from this is people didn't want to vote for either one of these people. Now, you're fucking forced to vote for one of them.
No, you're not
No,
though.
you're not. You're
You-
not.
you-
You're
so
not.
what
You're
happens
not.
if everybody opted out then?
No, you vote for someone else.
Everyone write in Harambe, bro.
Do you know what I mean?
This after
You are forced to
Pull
vote
out
for them
for
though,
Harambe.
because most people don't even know about anybody else.
Well,
How
you're
many
not. You're
people
not
know
forced.
about-
Nobody in this room. None of us. We all admit it.
that's
They're
not
not
what I mean.
voting.
But
Right.
no, you're not forced. But if you're going to
No, I voted.
participate in the system, if you're going to participate in the political process of electing a president, your choices are pretty much the two of them.
But that's
how many
but that's
people really
but
know
that's
about Gary
even
Johnson?
but that's
How many
what,
people know about
right,
Just
but, well, fuck all of them because they were bad candidates also.
But that's not what I'm arguing. That's
Right,
not what I'm
right, I
arguing. What I'm
understand.
saying is, where is your alternative? If you
Well,
don't
my-
like the
my
candidates,
problem, what I was
you
bringing
can't
up
go-
before, but-
hold on, let me finish real quick. If you don't like the candidates, the people can't go, no, we don't like them, man. Somebody else.
Yo, if there was a reset option
That's
on
what the
this poll,
primaries are supposed to be.
yeah,
though.
but the primaries are bullshit.
But
and it
that's
doesn't
what they're supposed to
like,
be.
Like,
Now-
we've seen that with the Democratic National Convention and them.
But
you
see,
know,
that's interesting because these leaked emails show that the DNC
Wanted Bernie. Wanted Hillary, not Bernie.
Wanted Hillary, used Bernie, and wanted Trump because they felt that he was the easiest to beat. So
Right.
to be completely honest with you, no matter what happens this cycle, the DNC put it into action.
Right.
And it fucking exploded back in their face.
Right, but
potentially.
right, just
that's-
right, but
that's-
it's and
that's what I'm saying.
it's nothing, and it's
the
nothing
DNC.
new because it's been happening
Right,
forever
but we
since
just
we just found
about
out now.
it.
But
Exactly.
Guys, hold on. We cannot be talking over each other. We've been doing a lot.
I'm sorry.
Everybody's got to not talk over each other.
The DNC did what they wanted to do, not what the people wanted
Exactly.
to do. That's the argument. That's the problem.
I agree. The DNC is a private organization putting forth public. What would that be? A public institution, I guess. is the
Yeah,
right word,
pretty
right?
much. Yeah.
But so they don't really have to follow any real rules. They make up their own rules as a private organization. The problem is we expect a certain.
Well, so
You know,
We expect them. We
certain-
expect them to operate transparently and ethically when it comes down to running a primary, same as we would expect the Republicans to do. And what we realized through this election cycle
That's
is
not the
that's
case.
that's not the case. We have a candidate that's representing the Democrats that the Democratic voters themselves didn't particularly want, and we have a Republican candidate running for the representing the Republicans that the Republican establishment itself didn't want, that the people wanted.
Right.
And this is real interesting because I want to say this is the first time in history that that's happening, at least in our lifetimes. And on the Republican side and on the Democratic side, who knows how many other times that could have happened before and just nobody knew
could be
because it
happening-
didn't get
It
out.
could have been happening on the other side too. We just don't know because it hasn't been out. So that.
Well, you know
Very
what?
interesting.
That makes me circle back to what Chris just said. He might be right. Is it more the abuse of the system? Because how much abuse?
Well,
do
that's
we
not part
know
of
about?
that's not part of the system, though. That's like a private this is what we do quietly. It would be like
But
as
it
if
is
Wall-
the system.
But that's
No, it's not.
abuse of
that system is different than the regular federal
It's not
election.
a governmental.
It's
Listen,
not-
underneath
it's not
the
a
table,
government.
an underneath the table deal is listen. If you let's
No,
say
but anything in the DNC is not an under the table deal. They're a private group, and it doesn't matter. It's just that they're doing their
making their
thing.
own
They
rules.
pick their own guy. The Republicans pick their own guy. The federal election is something that should be clear, transparent, and hold to high ethical terms. If the Democrats want to be fucked up behind closed doors, they can do that because
but
that's
do you
part
still
of.
not?
So then that
not
goes
to cut you off, but
Okay.
do you still not believe that the DNC had some part in possibly? Do you think they let the system play out naturally?
No.
So that is abusing the system, and
Oh, you're talking about just as a whole, taking the whole federal election and the primary as a whole.
right? Yeah,
it's broken.
Absolutely. I mean, it's broken. It's broken, and the problem that I have, and I never want to sound like a lunatic when I talk about this stuff.
It's all right.
but-
We all sound like lunatics when we talk about this type of stuff.
You do, because there's just almost nowhere else to go with it. But I mean, there is no light with participating in this system. No system has really changed or fallen, or I mean, there's been no revolution peacefully in any sense. And again, I don't mean to sound like some psychotic person that just wants militia and war. I mean, that's not necessarily what I'm saying, but I mean, I think we have gotten to a point where the people that are in power need to be forcefully removed, and the participation in the system is also what's not working. Because if we're finding out more than ever that the powers that be are steering these things in their direction the way they want it, then we have no stake in that anymore. There's no reason to participate in that anymore, and that's why I didn't vote in this election. Again, I have no problem admitting that I, wanted Bernie Sanders to win. I voted for him the prime. I mean, whether people think he's a socialist or not. I mean, listen, my main concern has been corporate influence in politics. I think
You're
that
crazy to think that there's no corporate influence in Bernie Sanders, though.
Well, no.
listen.
You're. Listen, I'm not saying that.
saying less so
I'm not
than
saying
Hillary.
that, but
He brings it up and
not for
talks about
nothing.
it.
But his track record, I still respect where he's been for the last 30 years and the things he's tried to bring up. And if this system can't run without something that makes people maybe uneasy or is kind of ugly looking, well, the bottom line, there's people that should be in fucking jail for what happened to this country. We're coming up on almost 10 years.
2 people went to jail.
The system.
No, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking.
no,
2 people went to jail. Bernie
And I'm
Madoff is
laughing-
one, and the other one was an Indian guy.
And I laugh at that. But the thing with Bernie, and that's so funny because the thing with Bernie Madoff is that he was stealing from all of these son of a bitches.
He was stealing from the rich people.
He was stealing from rich people, and
the best.
right, and but it's just.
Hold on, guys. Just
The
a
Dow,
quick.
we have to. I'm sorry to interrupt.
This is breaking news.
The Dow is down 500 points right now because it looks like Trump
Based on
might
the-
be doing.
based on
Yeah, look what I have on my list. Look what I have on my list of things that I didn't get to see.
Buy some puts.
This is our Brexit,
If Trump
everybody.
gets elected, market shits, then rallies.
This is our
Fine.
Brexit. This is our Brexit, everyone.
So it's
and it's
safe-
happening for it's happening for the absolute wrong reasons.
The system has cannibalized itself.
So back to Bernie for a minute.
I believe that.
I didn't
Right?
agree with most of what he said, but Bernie was probably the greatest person in politics on that side. He was like the Ron Paul of the Democrats, and that's exactly why he was going to be destroyed.
Right, but
He was going to die within 5 minutes of being in office anyway. So this is
that's not true. People said that about Obama, and here we are 8 years later. There's
no, not somebody who's going to kill him. He was going to die because
Yeah.
he was fucking like 900 years old.
to that point. I mean, everyone said that about John McCain, and John McCain's still
Getting
here
text
to
messages
see another
saying-
election.
But he didn't get a no. Like,
Right.
If you look at Obama, like Obama is one of the younger presidents who ever elected. Like if you look at him from the time that he was elected to now.
Right.
Look at
No, the
what
stress
the
that's put on,
job
the
is
physical
done
stress,
to
that's the
him.
physical and I'm sure mental stress that's put
I
on
would
all
never
of these
wanna be
people.
president.
You should be trying to pass Proposition 66 down in D.C. just to take some of that edge off. Take some of that edge off.
I
Get him some crap.
I think that
Yo, listen,
yeah.
he's black. He doesn't need to get that proposition passed.
I liked.
Just saying, I know my people.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's next. I know, even from the start of this show, I've
Flip flop 35 times. That's right.
no. I mean, have I? I mean,
No.
no. I'm just saying. I've had I haven't been too optimistic or joking about it too much, just because it definitely does affect me. I think we're moving into a period where we're still missing the point. As a country,
We're at a.
we're not tackling. I don't think we're tackling the issues. And I think we're about to. If this isn't any indication, I think we're about to vote somebody into presidency we had two candidates who, they.
What are the issues, though?
Well, I mean, what I was saying before, my issues before have always been corporate influence in politics, and I think this is my personal opinion, I think that is the answer to all of this. That is where we lost the morality in this system. That is where we broke the rules within this system. I mean, it has all been for corporate gain.
I feel like that's in the history of the country, though. I feel like
it is in the history in the country, but have we?
I don't think government has ever been more powerful than big business at any point in the entire history of our United States.
I agree. But except for that one point in time when we broke away from the Brit. I mean, there have been times where we broke away from the big system.
See, I don't believe that there were. I think there were times, like after World War II or during the Industrial Revolution, when things were just going so well for our country that it trickled down and there was an American dream. The husband can work for 40 hours a week, wife stays home, raises the kids, they get a car, they have a beautiful house. And I feel like there was just so much excess at that point that it was almost, I don't want to say like trickle down economics. I feel like the cherries and the fruit was there for everyone to grab, and it was a great time period. And I feel like time periods like that just cannot exist for extended amounts of time. People revert back to that. They revert back to, the late 90s. Everyone got out of college and was making 80 grand a year. And then there was a bubble, and the tech bubble burst. The stock market crashed, and then we were back down to living regularly. Then there was the real estate bubble. I remember getting out of college during the real estate bubble, and people were telling me, you shouldn't have went to school. You just should have started selling mortgages.
It was a scam.
I feel like all of these things are scams.
Scam.
I feel like people remembering back forget the scam. They forget what really drove all of the money, and they don't remember the bubble that existed that burst. It was like a correction. Everything I feel like that was great in this country was something that needed to be corrected due to some deep underlying scam or whatever you want to call it, a bubble or some inconsistency in the system that was being exploited for a period of time until it fell
apart. And that's where we talk about the abuse of it. But I'm a firm believer that some of these systems could have been sustainable if not taken to that extent. I mean, when we talk about the economic booms that happened after World War II and the economic booms that even happened, so the World War II economic boom is similar to me what happened in the 90s. Again, those to me were sustainable systems, and I just think when do you think the downfall of the country really started? I mean, for me, it
depends on which sector. I mean, the real estate bubble, the whole entire real estate problem, the subprime mortgage issue, is a Clinton era problem. Because he was the one that got rid of the legislation that separated the two banks,
right? Absolutely.
That's how far in advance people plan. Like the people at the highest level, they're planning hustles that we're not going to figure out for 20 years.
Right.
So we're going to get hustled.
Government is a business. That's the problem. That right there is the problem. Is as soon as politicians
driven by corporations,
a fucking business.
But that has brought me back to my original point where it has just always been. Listen, I did a stint on Occupy Wall Street. I was bashed for it. I heard all of these different things because people didn't understand it, and I think even the people that were there, I was there.
How did you feel? Do you feel that there were people there put there to behave inappropriately to just make the whole group.
There were just
as a whole,
uninformed people there,
to make everyone look bad?
there was misinformed people there. There was people that didn't know what was going on, and there were people that weren't there that were just looking on the outside. Especially a lot of bankers and a lot of the baby boomer generation. There, listen, there was a message that was missed in there, and because at that time there were still so many angry people. There were so many issues. I mean, I remember being down there and people were talking about scandals that had happened within 9/11. I mean, there was a soldier down there that was holding an American flag, and he held it there the one day that I had saw him. He held it the entire day. There were so many issues down there that it was so fucking easy to lose the message in that. And
you know why? I'll tell you why. Because what the real problem is there's too many fucking people on this planet. There's too many fucking people in this country. There's
the calling of the people is a whole different
I'm going to be dead serious now. I'm going to tie this back. No, I'm not saying this just for sarcasm. Shh, hold on. I'm going to say this.
Kidding.
I know we're not. Yeah. But I'm going to say this, and I'm not even just being like sarcastic or satirical or trying to make a humorous point, even though there is a little bit of humor in it because we talk about this a lot. But it goes back to what you said. And there's so many fucking people. And like you said, the problem started when the government started becoming run like a business. At no point in time in the founding fathers' vision of this country was there ever supposed to be a career politician or this many people.
Never. They didn't even have platforms initially because they didn't want to say, "Oh, I'm on this side on this decision."
No.
They would come up there and they would say, "I'm a very ethical man. These are my friends that are going to vouch for me that I'm an ethical person, and I will make the best decision for what's right for the people and the country at each individual problem."
And you were supposed to do your job and split. You weren't supposed to sit around for 40 years as a career politician.
Yeah,
your career was not supposed to be a politician. You were supposed to be fucking Joe Blow from fucking Maine. You do your thing for 4 years, and you get the fuck back on with your life.
The system would be unrecognizable to all of us if we actually experience, and as knowledgeable as everyone at this table kind of sounds about it, it would still be unrecognizable. That's how much things have changed, and even more so.
They would be ashamed of us.
Well, they would. They would be.
Actually, they would be. Those people would be proud of us. It's the people that we've become, and the system that it has become that would really look at it and be like, "What the fuck? Like, how did you bastardize what our process is and what our
because people stop pulling out. That's why." Too many fucking people.
You'll out for Harambe.
Fucking A.
But really, I mean,
6 months later, we still mourn this.
It's really the issue with everything. It's when it becomes a business, whether it's the political process, whether it's medical, whether it's education. It's all because it became a fucking business. All of it. And everything is a business.
Yo, son, money over everything.
What has brought me to just that original point again. And not to beat the Wall Street thing, but that was what I felt was. That's what I got out of all of it is that corporate influence in this stuff.
Corporate influence goes much deeper than most people even realize.
Of course,
like
absolutely.
The police obviously were around the Occupy Wall Street area the entire time. How many police officers do you think were there around the clock?
Oh my God! I mean, countless. They were definitely spending money that they didn't want to spend on that. Absolutely.
Who do you think's spending that money? The city's not paying for that. You want to know who paid for it? The banks. The banks paid for it because I worked for one of the banks. The banks paid for the entire payroll for all of the police work in that area.
Right. Well, listen. First of all, I went out to Occupy Wall Street because I had seen. I watched a YouTube video
Probably
of.
Hot Girl. Right?
What are we talking about? Wearing Star Wars gear last time, right? It was a hot girl wearing Star Wars gear that got me out to Occupy Wall Street. No, but I watched a video of this kid Chris Evans who was talking about the fractional banking system, and he just it just struck with me, and that's actually what had me go out there. I ran into him actually, and I met him, and It's really funny. I didn't know we were going to go this route, but if I knew, I probably would have brought the video in because it's not too hard to access in my email. But there's I'm on the news.
Which the
marching.
you are.
I'm on the news with this kid actually, who I went out there and ended up meeting, and we were just marching and talking our asses off, and just protesting and doing all that stuff. But we had a march around the Federal Reserve, and there were city police. Lots of them, sergeants. I mean, there was a lot of white shirts down there, so they were putting a lot of money into this. And Eric, like you said, it's believable that the banks put probably a lot of money into this because the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve had their own police also on staff.
Federal Reserve has the most gangster police.
You couldn't walk up those steps if they didn't want you to. Yeah, no, I'm sure. I know, and I remember for unfortunate people don't know, Walshy might have worked there a few times.
Walsh did too, because we work for the same company.
Right.
And I remember when I first started working for this company, I was 18. I didn't know a whole lot. So I remember we went to the UN. And I thought the UN was going to be I'm like, oh shit, we're going to the UN.
Like zero security, right?
Zero security.
Yeah. I was like, that's why they fucking get fucking.
Yeah. So then we, literally within the span of 2 weeks, I went from the UN to the Federal Reserve. And you go to the Federal Reserve, dude, they have their own police department. They walk around with their fingers, no joke, literally resting on the fucking trigger of their automatic weapons. Yeah. It is in fucking.
That's where they supposedly keep the bullion. So
I've been in the vaults, dude. It's real. I've been in the vaults.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Go on.
It's not all the money's there.
Hold on, let me just get between you and the window. Let me get out of the way a little bit.
The gold is there.
It's impossible to steal because the way they stack the bricks.
And each vault is different. They shave them.
Explain that. I'm curious.
So they shave.
How is it impossible to steal because of the way they stack?
They stack the gold, and it's cut in such a way mathematically that literally you cannot stack. So say if I went in there and I wanted to try and run out with a bunch of gold and I wanted to carry it.
First of all, they're so heavy that you'd never be able to.
They're 40 to 60 pounds almost. Not only that, so if I want to start taking them and try to stack them up and run, you can't. They cut them so that you can't stack them like that.
The angles are all very sharp.
You'd be good even stealing one of them. How much is one of them worth?
I mean, I don't know if they weigh 50 pounds and gold is how much, 800 an ounce right now.
Wow, it went down that much.
Yeah,
it went down that.
We got to. Me and Dave Sorensen got to.
What was it a year? What was it 2 years ago?
It was 1,800.
1,800. Yeah, that's a big
drop. Gold is the most malleable substance on Earth. So,
spot on gold.
Here is information from JM Bullion.
Siri, welcome to the show.
It's actually 1,300.
Fuck Siri.
1,300.
All right, so I mean, it's still there's still a significant drop because I thought it was going to go to 24.
Yeah, 1,300 times 16 ounces in a pound.
So you're saying Die Hard with a Vengeance can't happen.
50. So you're looking at each bar is $1 million.
1.2.
I'll take one. I don't have to stack it.
That's at 60-pound bars. I just average it out at 50. I wasn't trying to ride.
I'm pretty good. I'll take one in each hand.
Yeah. If you could get them all, if you could get them out of the brick on the pallet.
I'll try, but it'll be the slowest getaway in history.
They'll be like, look, he's stealing a bar. They'll be like, hold on, I'm getting a drink. Wait till I'm done. I gotta take a shit first. He won't even get to the door.
It's like, I don't want to go down the stairs. Just wait till he gets to the front door and I'll fucking take it away from him.
Stairs! My nemesis! We meet again!
One good thing I can say about the Federal Reserve, though, is they had an awesome fucking cafeteria.
I'm sure.
The cafeteria
I'm sure it's fucking on point.
It was good. They had a good cafeteria.
Denise's uncle worked for the Federal Reserve. That was like his career.
Yeah.
And he has some interesting stories just about things that go on.
It's an interesting place. I worked there numerous times over the years. It's real interesting. What we got breaking news here?
No, just looking. Trump's 145.
I'm just checking it out. I just want to see what's happening.
Every time the map zooms out and you see the country and then zooms back into like one of the states and it's all one color, we all like look like, what's going on?
I know what's happening.
Oh, nothing's going on. That's what's going on.
Tell you what, though, it looks like. Not that it really makes a difference because, again, electoral college votes are what matters. Trump looks like he's pulling away with the popular vote.
I called it earlier. Trump's going to win the popular
vote. Never meant anything to me after watching the Bush election.
Hillary Clinton's going to win electorally.
Which is all that matters.
It's just scary, though. Like, that is...
I told you they're going to Game 7 this.
Terrifying fucking thought.
They're going to Game 7 this. I'm really not going to put that much into this. I mean, I don't
like
care
that
what
term.
they
I like that term, Game 7.
That's all. That's the only way I'm going to word it, is because it's just it's going to be that intense.
It's a rating business, and fucking CNN's got to make their money. Fox got to make.
And
their
when
money.
it comes down to I'm sorry to talk over. When it comes down to Game 7s, I'm actually just so shocked how many Game 7s I feel like we've seen recently. I mean, it's I not to say that it's a rigged system, but I don't think we're going to get anything short of a cliffhanger. But I think Hillary Clinton is going to be the next president of the United States, ultimately.
Dave's got a scowl on his face.
I just don't know. I can't. Listen, like I said, as somebody who, over the last several years, has become willfully ignorant on a lot of things. I used to be big into all this shit, and I used to actually pay attention. I can't make heads or tails out of this anymore. I don't know what's better. Is what I mean, because
what's better as far as what? Like, obviously the system
no better.
No, but here's the thing. Here's
who's better out of these two, or what's better out of the election?
What's better? Not even who's better, but what's better for
the country.
The country, and what's better for what we've been discussing tonight, right? So, like, we all know Hillary Clinton, career politician,
corrupt as fuck.
Yeah, but
uses her position to enrich herself and her family.
Status quo for every career politician.
Most people have some scruples. Most people have some scruples. They don't go into hate. They don't raise
people. Not politicians.
Politicians. Not politicians.
All right, I'll just say this.
Listen,
I'm just going to say this. Most people are not as successful at it as she is.
Right.
But
family,
also,
the Clinton family is
super successful, comparatively speaking.
But you think the Bushes are any different?
The Bushes they weren't broke, became governor, became president, came out and only had like the money they saved up while they were in office from their salaries. They had money beforehand, and they had money from corrupt ways before. Yeah, it just goes back.
It's all the same.
But they were rich before they got into politics.
But here's my point.
They were rich before they got into politics.
Fine, but here's my point.
And did they use it to enrich themselves? Yes.
Of course. It's all the same.
Like everybody
and
would.
they got somebody who's arguably retarded elected as president.
But also, it's like what you said before, too, right? We're in a time now where we know more about Hillary Clinton than any other politician ever before. So we don't. Did I say that?
Hillary Clinton. She loves lobster claws and crab rags.
I can't even go on with what I was going to say.
What just happened?
Yarbrough got Chinese racist on us.
I don't know what happened.
Sorry, we're getting too serious.
'Tis the season to be jolly.
I just want to point out that I haven't brought up a young Mike Skanga at all yet.
Wait, no. Listen, I'm going to get real
Or
cheesy.
Chubby D. I haven't brought up any of that yet.
It hasn't been applicable.
Yeah, I'm going to get real cheesy. Could you bring that up again? Just say that again, because I want to put this on the Instagram on that little video.
The Instagram? Put it on the line.
Yeah.
Show us your dangling chads.
Are you ready? I'd like to bring up that I haven't talked about a young Mike Skanga yet, or a Chubby D. You're welcome.
I don't even know what to say.
We just made him repeat that.
To bring us back to the series, though, like
you can't do that after what you just said.
No,
you can't say Hillary Clinton rubs crab rags and go, let's get back to being serious.
Okay, it was just the Ohio, which is a pretty big swing state, is now 500,000.
No, it's more now.
Oh, sorry, more. No, right around 500,000.
It has, yeah.
Speaking of hanging chads.
So apparently, fucking your legs don't have anything to do with your math skills.
No, terrible.
All right, cool.
Did you get any hookers to play with your chat lately, or strippers?
Strippers. Get this straight, Dave.
I mean,
we're not messing with ladies.
One day, there was a girl who you could tell she had a Russian accent. She barely spoke English.
Nice.
But you could tell she's new to the profession.
Were you working on your theory?
What theory?
Your G-string theory.
Oh, my G-string theory. Nice. I haven't fully formulated that yet, but I'm working on it. But you could tell she was obviously new. And I said to my buddy, I'm like, if she comes over here, I'm going to get some dances from her. Because you can tell she's a little, like, standoffish and I was doing her a favor by getting some So she came over.
I'm doing this for her.
We
It
got a
has
couple
nothing to do with
dances,
me.
and she had 2 moves, and they weren't that great. So
You weren't impressed?
no, but she's got to practice.
So you're the guinea pig.
Yeah, sure.
How much did that cost you to be the guinea pig?
Like $80, $100.
It's scientific research.
Yeah, no, I want her to be successful. She's very
He's
pretty.
trying to make America
very
great
pretty.
again.
She is
Say,
not
aren't we
ugly
supposed
girl.
to write that off under his administration?
Yeah, exactly.
Were you allowed to grab
Right
her
in
pussy?
Sega.
Were you allowed to grab her pussy?
You know what? I didn't make that move because I didn't think she'd be comfortable with it.
She's sort of new in the business.
She's new in the business.
You might have been the first, though. You might have been the first pussy grabber, and you could have been like, "Listen, I heard it on TV. I learned it on the TV from the
I
president."
could be like, "This is
On
what
the
you're gonna
TV.
expect
From
next
the
month." I'll see you in a couple weeks. It's almost the first Wednesday of the month.
I have a brilliant idea from now on. We should just do segments of you telling stories like this wearing that mask all the time.
No, not just that mask.
No,
I want
it's
a
me.
different mask every time.
This mess smells funny.
I'm the only one that's worn it. I only worn it like twice, so
No, it's been on
Pine cones.
every one of our faces.
Oh, I guess so.
Smells like
Yeah,
pine cones.
fine cones.
You might fail your drug test by wearing that thing.
Fuck you, Quest Diagnostics.
Oh man.
Yeah, they're donating to the anti-marijuana campaigns in every single state.
I know. I'll tell you what. They got a sweet RV.
They probably love fucking Hillary.
Yep. You want to laugh even more? You know what they do now?
Both candidates, I thought, want to.
Trump sort of said, He didn't really give a straight
He's like,
answer. He's totally against all drugs. He doesn't even drink. The guy doesn't even drink. How can you be so Trump?
How
Really?
could you
Doesn't
grab
drink.
pussies with that?
Trump
like that,
officially
without drinking?
won
That's why-
Ohio.
Really?
Officially?
It
Wow.
just showed. And this is CNN, so they're not gonna falsify that shit.
You know what?
That's a
Oh,
lot.
really?
Yeah.
That's huge.
I just realized the reason that Trump only bangs like beauty pageant winners
He really might win.
because he never gets
He
drunk.
might be our next president.
Well, wait, can I just say, I just want to reiterate this. I said it on the presidential thing, and I want to say it again. Another thing that's interesting about the Trump, if there is a Trump presidency, which I'm still not 100% sure is going to happen, but one of the better things I think that would come out of that is that Congress continuously gives more and more power to the executive branch. If Trump becomes president, they take that shit right back.
Yeah.
And
That is a
that's-
positive.
and
I
that's
like
a
that.
positive thing.
I didn't even think about that,
Also,
Steve.
punk bands.
The-
Just put it out there.
The checks and balances have really gotten out of control over the last 15 years,
Right.
20 years probably.
Because they're all
There's
part of
no-
the same
right.
machine. This changes that. I'm okay with that.
It's almost like, oh, well, he's doing this. That's pretty fucked up, but we might be in there in a year or two.
Exactly.
Then we'll be able to do it. We'll take it a step further.
Right.
Exactly.
My buddy just texted me. The Vegas odds right now is Trump 3-1.
No, really?
Vegas odds.
That's Vegas.
Yo, Vegas knows.
Vegas
Vegas
knows.
knows.
Vegas knows.
So what you're saying is President Trump.
Degenerate speak. All right,
I'm thinking.
guys?
I
This
told
is
you.
my language.
I still think.
Yeah, no.
I still think Trump is going to win the popular vote, and I think that Hillary is going to win the electoral college. That's. I'm calling it right now because that appeases
There's
the angry.
a lot of stuff showing.
I always feel I don't want to get like I don't want to lean one way to another because I feel like in the last several elections, if you stayed up and watched at any given time, one guy was
He
on.
jumped up over North Carolina too.
I just don't feel like it's going to happen. I just don't feel like it's.
I mean, I've been shocked at multiple points in this entire presidential race. I mean, I didn't even think he was going to make a primary.
Neither did I.
I was going to bet people on that. I still think. I mean. So I don't want to sound like I'm going back on what I was saying before. I still think we're going to get a cliffhanger till the end. But what Chris was saying is, it's almost like, it's kind of what we're seeing is that he may win those electoral votes.
Can we agree
He's
on one
up
thing
in
here?
New Hampshire too.
Can we all agree on one thing here?
by a lot now.
That based on what it's looking like now, and if tomorrow morning when we wake up and Donald Trump is the president, the system completely cannibalizes itself.
It's awesome. I think it's
I
awesome.
kinda
Not
like
that he's
that.
president. I think it's awesome that we realized that the system is fucked up,
Right.
and people got angry, and
Right.
people did something. So they're going to have to make adjustments to correct for our anger and our unhappy and level of unsatisfaction in the future.
Here.
Is that? But do we all agree that that's that Trump
100%.
winning is the cause of that?
100%.
Because otherwise, there's no other way he ever wins, right?
Nope.
No way.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
The only reason he's winning is because people are angry, and
He
you
was
know
a laughing stock of the last election.
people are angry for a multitude of reasons. A lot of very liberal people think, oh, it's all these white people that are angry that are voting for Trump.
No, it's everyone.
If people are angry, I'm angry
Everyone's
about the entire last 16 years. I'm mad at the whole Bush administration too, because I feel like the Obama administration has been nothing but a continuation of the Bush policies that were already set in place, and I feel like if Hillary is elected, it's going to be a third term of the same thing with a little bit of their own pizzazz.
I mean, not to cut you off. I mean, are you saying there's no distinction between living in the Bush years?
I'd say there's
versus the
very little.
Obama
I'd say
years?
there's very little distinction aside from Obamacare, aside from the Affordable Care Act. I would say that there is virtually no difference during the Obama presidency as opposed to the Trump presidency that wouldn't have already naturally happened. Like, we have obviously some more marijuana, some more gay marriage, but I think that was naturally occurring grassroots and was going to happen anyway. I think those are positive things.
Well, I think there's been a change in employment also. Not too much of a change in employment, but I do think employment is more accessible, way more accessible than it is even. I mean, not to say a gutter.
But that has nothing to do with George Bush, though. That has to do with Clinton passing the legislation that allowed the real estate bubble to exist. So, I mean, I don't think that the recovery... I think that this is where we should be normally. That's how I feel.
Right.
I think that right now is our baseline for how the country should be and how employment should be. Do I think there are things that could be better? Not in the current system. I think that with the current system, where we are now is where we're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's just my feelings. And I feel like when you look at the Iraq war policy... George Bush started that. Obama promised us we were going to be out of Iraq, and we're not.
And we're not.
We're still there. And now we're sending more people there. Now they're talking about Syria. And a couple years ago, we're going to Iran. We're going to be in Iran. But now we're giving Iran billions of dollars, and we're friends with them. It's almost like a continuation of that war hawk policy, which I really significantly disagree with. I don't like spending money in other countries. I like spending money here. If we're going to spend money, let's do construction projects. Let's fix roads, tunnels. Let's help people with social programs. Let's create jobs, and let's bring up our own population. Not spend money. Dave's giving Chris a reverse lap dance.
I
now.
wish I saw it. I wish I saw more. I wish I saw more because I did. I would have participated.
As well.
I've known Dave for about 13 years, and cumulatively speaking, there was more dancing that just happened now than in the last 13 years of Dave and R's relationship.
You don't know.
Yeah, no, you haven't been around.
Because there were nights he used to come to the Nutty Irishman, and whether he remembers them or not, he was dancing.
I remember all of them.
This was in the transitional period of still fat D-Rock.
And here it is.
Not fat D-Rock, chubby D-Rock.
So was he dancing to the band, or was he dancing to Chris Kenny DJing, playing like you got a $50 bill, put your hand up?
Both. I've been dancing to the beat of my own drum, dog.
I will say, from being Chris's former roommate, I don't think he played Dollar Bill, Put Your Hand Up at the Nutty.
I know they made him play some bad songs there.
That was a lot more at Planet Dublin.
You get me drunk enough, I'll dance my dick off.
So
I used to have my own dance.
You had your own dance?
Yeah, you had the pterodactyl, but besides that...
What?
Besides that, hold on.
Why have I never, Dave? I've known you too long to have never seen pterodactyl.
Here's the thing, you forget
Put the mask on and do it right now. Steve, pull up some music.
Here's the problem.
You missed out on a lot of those shit because we were friends, but we didn't hang out really.
And also, D-Rock has been off the whiskey for a while.
Oh, I still did it without whiskey. I did it without whiskey.
But you did a lot
whiskey
more
wasn't
with
enhanced.
whiskey, yeah.
So I need to get you on the whiskey and bring you to like a progressive house music, like an underground club.
No, I never danced on whiskey because
You didn't dance on the whiskey?
no, I didn't dance on the whiskey.
You didn't dance on the whiskey?
I got whiskey dance, not whiskey dick.
I saw you dance on the whiskey.
No, dude, I get angry on the whiskey.
You get...
I picture you doing a lot of front kicks. A lot of front kicks when you're all angry.
There's a fine line. See, a little bit of whiskey, you're like...
No.
Weird, out of control.
You're talking to me like I'm not there and shit.
No, yeah, exactly. I was stone cold sober. You weren't there, motherfucker.
I was there. I remember what happened. I remember the first night it happened. The first night I had the whiskey, and shit got ugly. You know, you had to have your off-duty cop friend restrain me.
Oh, it got real ugly.
Dude.
It was real.
It was bad.
It sounds like a Tommy D drunk ugly type of night.
No,
Worse.
Tommy D's a different kind of ugly.
This is a different type of ugly.
I've seen Tommy
But
D go.
let's get back to the facts here. You get me drunk.
You're doing
I'm
dances?
dancing. I'm a good time, bro.
Now, is a pterodactyl dance, is it like a jig or is it a shuffle?
It's the goofiest fucking thing in the world. I made it up piss drunk because
like
I'm
the
an idiot.
Carlton?
No, it's worse than the Carlton.
And it also
It's super creepy.
it works really well. And
It's the right level of creep.
well, it's the right level of creepy, and also it enhances his level of not understanding that girls
shouldn't
want to
be
hook up
doing
with him.
it, yeah.
No. That girls want to hook up because it's like, oh, the hot guy's doing something goofy, like, oh, he's so fun. Oh, I'm gonna do it too, and it's like,
Well,
yo, you take it at home? He's like, what? Huh? What?
D-Rod.
No.
But that's how he is
Last time I
normally,
saw
though.
him at the
it's,
bar- oh,
it's
he was
a
dri-
whole
Yeah.
another level.
It's so funny because I haven't even experienced the level you guys have, but I feel like that sounds accurate to what I've kind of experienced from you.
I don't know what your experience is. So Dave,
I've seen you drop the ball on a little hot vixen, little hot vixen. Last time we were out,
hold on.
there was a little cutie walking around in a like dark red bikini. She was fucking hottie.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. She was hot.
She was
and I
hot.
dropped the ball.
I'm gonna throw this out right now. Drop the ball on a threesome.
Wait, could you say that again? You're
Say
Say it one more time.
the whole world dropped the ball in a threesome. Why are you looking at me like that?
Why do they
dropped
even
the
want to
ball
have
in threesome.
threesomes with you now? What did you do?
I don't know. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Yo, you dropped the ball, son.
When? Hold on. First, I want to hear who he's talking about because this is closer. This is this summer.
Because he's like,
This
I
was
don't,
this summer.
Dave's like, I
There
don't
was-
remember this one. Maybe I could get her next year.
Exactly.
There was.
He's like, what did she look like? Let me
There
write this
was
down.
said you know,
there
write
was
down
a
the
girl.
I don't know her name.
Oh,
It
what
was
the fuck?
hold on. I know. I got you.
I don't know her name.
While you're looking it up, let me ask: did you get the pterodactyl from that oatmeal cartoon?
No, the turn.
Okay,
right.
just checking.
Who'd you write down?
You weren't there.
I
He knows he fucked up.
I
yo,
don't-
Yo, son, you fucked up.
Yeah, I might have dropped the ball on that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
wait. Is that who I'm talking about? That's who I'm talking about.
That is who you're talking about.
Yeah, I probably did fuck that up. I didn't know if that was. Yeah, I guess so. Fuck.
Yo, on the
You know
real,
what?
I'll fill up this whole motherfucking page with your dropped balls.
Butch's engagement party.
Time out. For those listening at home, it's a really small page.
It's not. It's at least 18 lines.
Hold on. Butch's engagement party.
All right, I don't want to listen to you justify how many threesomes you fucked yourself
No,
out
no,
of.
it's not-
Yeah, because fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Because
every
fuck you.
dude that's listening to this is like, yeah, fuck this dude,
Yeah,
Dave.
fuck this
you just
guy.
became like the least popular person on
Yeah.
the podcast.
Who's this guy, Dave?
He was already the least popular.
No, here's the thing. I didn't think.
Time out.
I'm oblivious to it. I don't even
Right.
realize it
You're-
half the time. That's.
You're oblivious, but it's
not an
only
excuse.
one threesome he walked in.
It's not like I'm willingly walking away from this shit. Like I'm above it and shit like that. Like
I've
I didn't
seen-
think.
I've seen-
I didn't think it was a thing.
I've seen you though, like not realize that girls want to sleep with you on so many occasions. We were out one evening and we were at a bar, and one of the girls at work there was like, "Oh, I'm getting off. I'm gonna go home." Then she like stopped to talk to us and then hung out with us for like literally like 2 hours. And I'm like thinking my whole time like, oh, she's sticking around because she's waiting for us to leave so she could go home with Dave. And then eventually I'm like, oh, you want to get out? You're like, nah, let's stay. And then eventually she was like, oh, I think I'm gonna leave. She's been there for like 2 hours, and I know she was waiting for you to be like, oh yeah, want to get out of here? And you're like, all right, I'll see you later.
Dave, I love Dave. I've known D-Rock. How long have I known you now? I've known you for over 10 years
I love that
now.
you're wearing that mask to hide your shame.
Yeah, because D-Rock ain't about that life. D-Rock ain't about that life.
Should we bring up also the night at
Let's
the
get
townhouse?
Go ahead, man. Let's fucking let's run wild.
Let's
with
bring
this
this
shit.
in.
Go ahead, bring up everything I've ever done that I wasn't aware of, or everything I didn't do.
I think this is probably the most egregious one. The night at the townhouse in Farmingville.
Oh fuck me.
Dude, that was whole nother level of you're just fucking
Lost.
complete like ineptitude of what was really going on there.
Go ahead, man.
Let's hear it.
Go on.
So there was a party.
You throw something at him while you're talking, Howard.
There was a party at the townhouse I was living in Farmville, and there was a friend of my girlfriend's who I lived with. It was a friend of a friend, not even someone that we really knew. It was a friend of a friend.
So it could be like a one-time thing, and then just fun, get the fuck out of
She
here.
was so fucking enamored with this fucking guy.
Wow, big words.
That's like 3.
This is intense.
She actually let her friends. She knew no one else there. She let her friends leave to stay there. Potentially, she wasn't even. I don't think she was even from this fucking state.
She let her friends drive back to
That's
Albany
like her
so
friends
she
was
can
like,
do a
Oh my
date.
god. She was willing to take a 9-hour bus ride, David.
Yeah,
Oh, easy on the David.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to rub it in a little more.
She was
Gotta put some perspective,
and this guy was fucking cool as a cucumber. Just like, oh yeah, hey, what's up? And not in a way like to. Conan is mad.
We're all
Conan is fucking mad
yeah.
right now.
Something to say about it, huh? Let me tell you.
I don't even remember, like, I couldn't pick this girl out of the lineup. I don't even remember. And I only remember this, like, after the fact, you guys getting pissed at me, but I don't even remember, like, having a conversation
I
with this
told
girl.
you.
I don't even remember.
But I told you that night. I'm like,
We need to
I'm
get
like,
you a shock collar so that when the girl's like throwing these signals and you don't realize, we just shock you from across the bar.
You know, well, yeah, I guess so. Because you know what? You know what's bad? Is, I don't know, like, everybody else picks on it, up on it. You know why? Because half the time, I'm never thinking, and this is probably because it goes back to when I was fucking fat. Chicks weren't into me for the longest time. So my default status is
same
like...
here, same
My
here.
default is like, they're not into it.
I have, and not to say, oh, chicks are into me now, but I definitely find myself having better luck.
You're a
than
handsome
I did.
drummer,
Whatever.
chicks are
whatever.
Yeah, you
well,
play the
well, I
music.
got- well, let me say this. I'm
Fuck
going
your biceps.
Let me go through.
Play the music.
Well, exactly. I'm back on dating apps recently.
I just saw some chick send you a picture just now.
Yeah, that was a picture.
Yeah, I saw.
She's in Thailand. She's in Thailand.
She
What
wants
does
to
that
do
not
it.
count? What does that not count?
No, well, she's just there. She's coming back.
Doesn't count for
She's-
tonight.
No, exactly. No, she's coming
Gonna
back.
take that bus for you?
But
she's out of the stage. She's just trying to,
And once again, everybody, this is the special election edition of the podcast coming at you
Yeah, well,
with
we're
the
talking about
extended
times we got
hours.
We got elected to have some sex and apparently fucking didn't get the vote.
Drop the ball. But no, I kind of relate to what Dave is saying. I mean, I find myself having some better luck than I did in my younger years, but I also find myself kind of oblivious sometimes because of not having that luck in my younger years. I'm just kind of, sometimes I miss the point, and
I'm the same way.
and I definitely I've gone home alone a lot of nights because of missing the point.
But hold on, I want to get back to one thing. I'm going to go ahead and dispute the threesome.
Which one?
There's only been one.
no,
There's only been one.
motherfucker, no,
There's only been one,
no.
and I'm disputing that.
I don't know.
This sounds like some D-Rock bullshit right here.
Wait, no. I'm gonna throw this out.
T-Rock.
Hold on.
It's tough to say that to him now because he can kick my fucking ass. That wasn't always the fucking
No,
I
case.
feel like that's a term I wasn't even aware of. Like, that's more D-Rock bullshit.
The bride to be, whose engagement party that we were at, recognized that those two girls wanted to fuck you, probably in the goddamn parking lot.
I would have done it. I would have absolutely. Dave, I would have fucking. I would have done it.
I'm going to be honest, though. I pterodactyled both of them.
Individually.
So that's the key. That's not only did you pterodactyl, they asked for they
wanted
had
more
that-
pterodactyl?
They had that idea in their fucking head before you even talked to them. It had nothing to do with you talking to them or you being smooth that night. They pretty much had that in their idea, or in their head. That idea in their head before anything even happened that night. They were into it. And you fucked that shit up. No.
I'm disputing that. I'm disputing it a little bit
But
because
I will call everyone that was at that table.
We don't need that. I believe you, bro. I know Dave, and I know he fouls up, hooking up and getting laid a lot. So I don't think that you, based on my past experiences,
This is all because
with
we
you.
believe in you.
wait, what did I foul up in your presence?
No, I've
Doesn't
seen
matter.
you. I've seen you not go for sure things because you didn't realize. And after I brought it up afterwards, you were like, "Oh man, you know, I'm not good at picking up on that."
Well, yeah, I admit that.
And
Admittedly,
I assume that's what happened during these close to threesome occurrences as well.
only been one of them, but I am admittedly oblivious. I will say that. Yes,
Trump win.
But-
Did Trump win Florida?
It's like 99%.
Wow.
It's close.
What did I botch in your presence?
I gave an example earlier about
looks
how
like
we were at a bar.
90.
I know which one you're talking
Trump's
about.
going to be president.
I don't think so.
And it's looking.
Dude, no, look at the swing states.
I don't think so.
That's fine. You can think whatever the fuck you want.
Well, if
But-
Trump does get elected and you have money in a stock portfolio, buy a whole bunch
Buy
of fucking
everything.
shit tomorrow morning after it
Everything.
crashes because it's going to come back.
And buy gold. Gold's gonna go nuts.
I don't know if gold will go nuts.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think gold
I
will go
think
nuts.
it
I
will.
think that if I was going to buy tomorrow, I would buy
Stock?
stock in staple corporations like Johnson and Johnson after it drops.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's going to come back.
And buy private prison stock. Oh wait, no. Dump private prisons and dump and buy
Finger condoms because all the pussy grabbing.
Let's take a poll right now. Hold on.
Brickmakers.
I want to poll everybody in this
There's a
room real
wall
quick.
Going up, people.
All right, we're going to take a poll.
We're going to take a quick poll. Chris, what are we at time-wise?
That's the poll? I know where we're at.
No,
time-wise.
this is. I'm that's not the poll. What are we,
We're over 2 hours.
God damn it! What are we at?
2 hours and 10 minutes.
All right,
2:12.
Are we keeping this bitch going or what?
I'm not.
That's the poll I'm
Keep
taking.
it rolling. Keep it rolling. I need to refill
rolling.
that. I
We're
need
still
to
rolling.
Well, I'm out. I'm going to
Skenga,
bed.
have a good evening.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night,
Love
bud.
you, buddy.
Let's hope the world's not on fire in the morning.
We're losing a legend in this mix.
Yeah, bro.
That was the poll. Whether or not we should keep going.
Yeah, I'm
Later, man.
Hold on.
I'll keep it going as long as you
Guys.
want.
All right. I'm curious about
This
this.
shit gonna kill me.
No, I've been drinking all night. It's fucking delicious.
Put 3 ice cubes in it.
Eric,
I gotta show some love.
Yo, not for
No,
nothing.
but there's.
I gotta see soon. All right, back to the madhouse.
the wheels are off this fucking wagon anyway. Let's
All
just
right,
keep rolling.
listen.
Do we want to pause it while we gather ourselves?
Good idea. No, fuck it.
Yeah,
All right.
All right, yeah, there we go.
Hey, Yorber, I'm going to pause while we regroup. To the answer session.
All right, anyway, guys, we're back. Eric is already fucking deviating off of whatever we were talking about. I don't know. I was making a drink.
I was talking about the premiere of the movie we saw over the weekend. Quality Control.
Quality control. Yes, the cloning movie.
The cloning movie. Oh, no, we weren't talking about that?
Were we? I don't know. I was
He was
making a
talking
drink.
about that about 15 seconds ago, and then so here we are.
All right, we're
Well, we're back with the special election edition of this show. We're running long as right, guys.
So those playing along at home, Trump has won Florida and Ohio. Clinton has taken Virginia and Colorado. We're talking about swing states specifically.
I got a good idea. Why don't we log into one of our Facebook accounts and scroll through people's statuses right now and have some fun conversations?
scared. I'm so scared.
You know what we
of that.
should
Or should we not do that?
We should make a troll account, though, and we should troll somebody every week from our troll account.
That's
Well, we just gave it
fun.
away.
Yeah, but no, troll people that don't know us.
Yeah, we can do
Yeah, we know enough people.
Or maybe they know us very well, but we know they don't listen to the podcast, so we do it.
I'm into that. Actually, really into that.
Why are you doing this on your phone? We have a fucking computer with a monitor right now.
Oh, because I don't feel like doing that. I want to keep the election stuff up on the
There's
monitor.
tabs.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to the internet, Steve.
Two monitors.
Yeah, you won the internet and forgot what the fuck it was
internet, and
about.
I'll do what I want with it.
He's like, I won the goddamn internet. Don't tell me what to do with it. I will fucking do anything I want.
Did they say
Wow. Okay. So, well, without even going to your computer, my Facebook again.
Would
I'm
you
a
like it on the monitor?
Well, no. I'm a musician of 20 years. I have a lot of liberal, progressive friends. They seem
angry?
they think Trump's gonna win. They don't.
I think Trump's
they
gonna
don't,
win too.
They don't seem happy. But what have I been, guys? What what's the phrase I've been using since the start of the show?
Game 7!
Game 7, baby! It's going to be exciting until the end.
1 a.m. I don't think it comes out till 1:30. 1:30. That's what I'm saying.
If Trump wins, how many celebrities actually move to Canada?
Nobody.
None. Not one.
Nobody.
And they all say, I have to stay here so that I can make sure he's defeated in 4 years. That's the excuse.
That's a shame.
So hold on.
That's a shame.
How long does everybody stay mad for?
I don't know.
2-3 days?
5 minutes.
New Year's at least. Yeah, because
I don't even get New
around
Year's.
Christmas.
You know what I'm looking
Did you
forward
say
to?
Bruce Pratt?
Well, let me... guys, I'm sorry to interrupt you just because
You know, you've been saying that's your catchphrase tonight, motherfucker.
Listen, fuck you. You can beat my ass, but fuck yourself, alright?
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Has Gary Johnson really been a problem in this for this? I mean,
Why, people blaming it on him for stealing the vote?
well, I mean, by the states that he's won, I mean, he's been winning 3% on average, I think, in most of these
look
states.
at Clinton's electoral votes.
He would have if his votes
very
would have gone
close.
to his votes would have gone to her, she'd be up
That's
in
because-
most of those states.
That's because of California and Oregon, Eric.
Okay, California and Oregon.
California was the big jump for her. Yeah.
New York is done.
New York is
New York's done.
Been
Pennsylvania. Listen. If Pennsylvania goes her way, she's going to be up.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to. Yeah, she's going to win this election, guys. This is it. Looks like this every election.
Yep, that's what I was saying
Every
earlier.
election, and you're right, Eric. It's looked like this every election. She's going to win this election. She's obviously on path to win. Can you bring up the other page where the
Think
live
about
swing
this, though.
states? Live swing states.
Think
percent?
about how much cooler the Joe Rogan show is going to be on Friday after all this. He's going to have some funny shit to say.
Oh yeah, she 20 electoral votes. What is he at 201 and she's at 197 or 190 what? Go. Can you scroll up again?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, she won, guys. That's it. It's over. It's already over.
What are you talking about?
She's gonna win. She's gonna win Pennsylvania. That's a major state right there. She's already gonna win Wyoming. Iowa.
How many electoral?
She's going to win Iowa and Minnesota already, which is a problem. So the only state listen, she's going to win 3 out of 4 states that are available. The next state.
Hold on. I think Trump won Iowa already.
No.
No, it's right up there.
No,
It's
at least what CNN was reporting before.
Wait, but that's still up for grabs. It's saying on this.
I'm pulling it. Iowa. Yeah. Oh, it's.
She's gonna win. She's gonna win Iowa. I'm telling you.
I want to say that
under
Trump.
1,000.
Look at this. Wait, look at it this way. She's gonna win. If she's down by she's. What was it again? It was 197 to 201. She's going to get 20 for Pennsylvania. So she's going to be up already. She's going to win Iowa and
I was only 6.
and Minnesota. Yeah, but Iowa and Minnesota, that's at least another 10. And now the only state left is Washington. Was it Washington?
Minnesota, I'll give you. Iowa, it's under 1,000 votes.
What is that
Closing out
259
soon,
number?
though.
It's a club.
It's going to close
It's
out
one
soon.
club.
It's going to close
With
out soon.
Idaho, what is that 259 number underneath the 13% for Idaho? Is
Like
that
how many votes
no? There's no way that only 259 people voted
for Hillary Clinton?
for Hillary Clinton in the whole state of Idaho.
Yes.
What's the population of
Yeah,
Idaho?
but that's
45
per
people.
capita, and depending on how many people actually voted. I mean,
This-
it's obviously not the whole state.
They don't
No, I
give
know.
a
Yeah,
fuck.
but it's weird.
259 people.
but Eric,
You got to say, but we don't know how much are reporting.
Right,
Click
it
on
could
the
be
state.
1% reporting.
Gotcha.
It's
Could've
more.
just been
It's
like
obviously
one-
more than that,
one-
but it's
one house turned their numbers in, and that was it.
listen. That could only be 30% reporting right now.
Gotcha.
Not even. I can't. It doesn't do
It
it.
doesn't say. What's the little arrow
It'll
on the
show-
right
it's
side of the
the
screen
people.
do? Nothing.
There's nothing.
It has to do something.
It goes fuck
has
you.
to do something.
It goes fuck you, Eric.
click that.
They don't put them there for no reason.
Yeah, they
They
do.
don't.
They
No,
do.
it's just your
Did
computer.
they, did they just have a template, and that was like, we have this template with the arrows,
No,
but we
it's
can't make them
Google.
do
They
anything.
have better than that. It's
No,
just
the
your
arrows.
shit.
The arrows there are probably for more state specific. Probably county. And probably
So
it's got to elaborate.
Trump wins
Yeah,
North
yeah.
Carolina.
Could you go to look at New York real
Yeah,
quickly?
so look, nothing's there. Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to
Pennsylvania is
see-
still a key state,
I want to see
though.
what Long Island
I
is.
was almost under the impression that if he lost any of those swing states, that he wasn't going to.
Oh, look, he won Suffolk County.
He did. He won 7.
I thought he might.
I thought he might too.
that's
There was a
all-
lot
those
of
are the
people
only
talking
places I
about
saw the
Trump.
signs.
Well, then he's just talking like
Boston,
if you
Nassau.
drive around and like
Drill
look,
down?
look at
That's
what
the thing.
people.
The guy down the road from Belmore Kickbox, that guy's house
Loves
was Trump.
nuts.
This guy's house looked like a,
I don't have a
like
picture
a
of
Halloween decoration only for Trump. It was
Donald Trump House
insanity.
Belmore. Could you Google that for us, Steve? Donald Trump House Belmore.
I will do acid if he's president.
I'll do acid anyway.
I'm afraid to try that one.
I will do it tomorrow.
I mean, I'll try it if you guys really want to.
I absolutely do, especially if he's present and I want to do it this weekend.
This
I'm not
weekend.
joking. I'm not joking.
There's a patch article?
Yeah, no, just do a Google
Dude,
image
this guy
search.
is
This
intense.
guy?
Just do an image search. Just do an
Yeah,
image
there it
search.
is.
She used to train at that gym.
So
that
what
we
we're,
go to.
we're again, guys, what we're looking at is this is.
A Belmore house. Donald Trump house, Belmore, Google Images.
Oh, I think somebody
I
has
thought
seen
you were
this.
talking
buddy
about
of mine-
acid.
No. Oh, well,
This one?
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the house.
That's part of
That's
it.
right there.
Oh my god, yeah, look at this.
Dude, it's insane.
Hillary has like a Osama bin Laden outfit on in one picture, and I think there's a noose on her neck.
There's heads on pikes. Oh,
Our pets' heads are falling off.
This is pretty impressive, actually.
There's some real crazy people.
Whatever you do, don't call it the Hillary house. I can imagine. Holy crap.
What do we got? What do we got? We got something on the line here for us?
Just chatting with random girls. I mean, like I said, I'm back on the dating app thing, and newly single, and
Ladies,
just
Dibs.
been kind of going off on the dating app thing. So a lot of conversations.
what's your strategy?
Well,
Pizza emojis.
it's funny because when we were off a little bit, Eric was asking that. I don't know. I just like talking to them. Just like asking them basic questions. I'm not the type of guy to do anything witty on a dating app.
He's real witty on dating apps.
I'm not about that. I mean, listen, I've had nothing but I've called it a success rate. I mean, whatever, I've been able to meet up with multiple women, whether it's just for drinks or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I like it. I enjoy it. It's fun.
Have you made the mistake? Are you on Bumble and Tinder?
Yeah, I'm on both.
Have you made the mistake of scrolling through Bumble and it's just swiping up to look at the pictures, and then when you get on Tinder, you swipe up? And
Oh yeah, there's always that mistake. But as
it's a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you
Tinder's left and right, and
Bumble is you scroll up
is
to
the
see
same
extra
thing.
pictures.
Yeah, Bumble is the same thing where it's left and right scrolling, but when you click on the profile to watch it, you scroll up and down to look at the different pictures.
Okay.
So that can get confusing when you translate it back to Tinder.
Yeah, so you gotta
but
be on
being
top of it.
a gamer. Professional.
Good dexterity.
You just kind of get used to it quick, and you adjust to the different,
It's bullshit.
So
Sorry
if you're drunk,
to interrupt,
if you're drunk, it's like real bad to like mess with those.
Terrible.
I'm
Next
sure.
thing you know,
Listen,
you're
again,
getting those-
I haven't had too much of a problem.
You're not getting messages by like giant forehead girls and stuff like that.
but then that's always a possibility.
Like, I was
because-
drunk. It was a mistake.
Well, you don't even have to be drunk for that, because every now and then I'm sure all of us run into just the random swiping nonstop, So I'm sure we lose a few people. What do you got over there, Dave?
Well, breaking news,
long
gentlemen.
is that?
Trump
How
took
long
North
is that?
Carolina.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Breaking news.
Fake. It's fucking
Are we
real.
comparing? You want to compare Tinders
How many
right now?
people
I'm
voted?
just curious what you got going on over there.
New York.
Comparing
Bring
what?
up
Like,
New York again?
the amount of hits we got?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. No, we don't have to do that. I
Do
guess.
that, I guess. Okay.
All right, guys, back to.
I don't really. I'm gonna
think
be
the
honest with you. I don't
podcast
take
is
it
done.
all that. I don't take
That's
it
not supposed to
super,
take it
super.
If you
seriously.
click on
but
Long
still.
Island, will that pop up?
Negative.
No.
Oh, I like the different towns.
33% to 63%.
Guys, we're at almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we're done. We're drunk.
Again, it's been a
Everyone's
interesting
pretty hammered at
episode.
this point.
Yeah.
I blame
Love you
alcohol and America.
America, alcohol.
This election made us all
Cone's
drink.
licking my crotch.
Go on.
I don't want to.
Can I say it? Can I say it? Can I say it?
Say whatever you want.
Six Borough Podcast.
Signing out.
Bye.
Our research team just called quits on the podcast. So, guys, we love you. Anyone have anything to say? America?
Anybody want to fix that threesome opportunity that I blew? Holla at your boy.
And that is D-Rock signing out. I just want to always say, as always, thank you for having me on. Then C-Dub signing out.
I like that.
We'll have you back again because
Wait, hold on.
one of our favorite guests.
Hold on.
Thank you.
We have to address something before we sign off here.
Yeah, there you go.
You're due for the Instagram name change, so I figure maybe the Six Bottle Podcast gets to name it.
You said something about that. What do you got?
I think we should. I don't have it right now, but will you let us pick
You
the name?
implied that you implied that you had something.
No, I'm
but
saying we can come
okay.
up with the name.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
We're
I'm all right
we're
with
gonna
that.
pick his new Instagram handle.
Okay.
And I'm going to say this too. This is episode number 40.
Hey,
You were episode what, 3?
Hey, I was episode number 3, and I'm grateful to be
40.
on number 40. Congratulations
Right, you were
on
number
that,
3,
guy.
right?
Yeah, number 3. I'm pretty sure I was number 3.
Okay,
And,
number 42.
And now here we are at number 40. That's awesome for you guys, and glad to be back. And I'm cool. It was on a different. Last time I was here, I was more so interviewed, which is always awesome.
Yeah,
But
you were
it was cool to be just kind of included in the banter, and that was fun. So
Man, episode 3. What date was that? What was the date of that? That was like March.
No, April.
April 18th.
Yeah.
No, that's when it was released.
That's
That's when
when
it was
it was
released. So it was probably maybe